observe speed that we see when we measure it from below.
How fast is the ISS traveling?
Mate, how come do I have to have a point of view with you? If you don't understand the space,
ISS traveling?
Mate, 1 second.
Mate.
1 second.
How fast is the ISS traveling?
So I have to
about
ask you a question
17,000 miles an hour.
So
Right.
how can I talk with you something that is out of space and you don't understand the space? How can I prove something?
How?
I told you it's
So
a
how-
You don't know
camera
how to
there.
prove
Fast is
something,
it traveling?
Decodus.
Doesn't matter because you're not gonna understand it anyway.
No, but that's
So
what
it's
we're
a
here.
camera
We're here
there.
to
Go
help
there and
you.
look it.
We're here to
Take
help
a
you.
look on everything what is outside
No, that's not how you
of
do
the
it,
space,
Decodus.
and after that you got to understand everything. And by the
Spiraling,
way, first,
Decodus. Stop spiraling.
shut up, I'm talking. Shut up, I'm talking.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Human
You said because you are the good moderator, then you're still covering me.
Oh yeah, like I ever use it. You don't even know that unless you look. Go on.
Oh, Kimo, it's again on the show. Okay, let's
Go
do
on,
it.
I said, make your point.
No. My point is, go there, understand the space, take a look on cameras what they are mounted on ISS. Talk with the guys who have been on ISS if you can. If you don't can, it's not my problem. And after that, you're gonna have a point of view.
So
Nah.
what's the space?
Don't stay on Discord and chat nonsense things. You don't
Well,
understand nothing, and after that you're gonna come. Oh, the stupid people! We are the leaders. We are the followers. Who's gonna come after us? We're gonna do the big reset.
Yeah,
Go on.
but give us the secret space knowledge then.
But I told you, man.
What?
Go
You're not saying
and
anything.
chat with the people. Go and chat with the people who have been on the space.
No, he's gonna run out of
You have
fuel
the
in a minute.
ability.
Let him finish.
Do you have the ability to speak with somebody who have been on the space? No.
They don't have
So
the energy
it's exactly
like we
like
do, Mel. So,
it's exactly like you, Kimo, and who's talking for
Well,
that
Mel wants to
Cavendish
respond,
experiment for
but-
20
Not saying
20
anything.
days that I have been on the Discord. You're talking about
It's
the
gotta be
Cavendish
done, Mel.
experiment. Who's gonna do my
part of
Cavendish
the
experiment with the vacuum?
therapy. They need.
So it's the same point of view.
See, it's just
Talk with somebody who have been on space. We have people who have been on space.
So you're appealing to authority.
No, unless he does
No,
this.
I'm appealing to the people who have been on space, not on authority.
So you're appealing to authority.
No,
I don't think he is.
who's the authority?
Exactly.
The space people.
No. That's not what's happening right now. He's trying to rationalize the situation, Merle. He's saying, while there are people up there in space, all over the planet, on the ball, spinning, in his mind he's thinking, why would they lie? Why would they? That's all he can think. Now we're trying to explain to him, obviously science, yes, is what tells them if what they're telling us is true or not. Not on a piece of paper, not a fake CGI like video, a picture of Cavendish in a vacuum, none of that nonsense. If you can get decoders uncut 24-hour feed, like Mo was saying about the moon, but you don't have to go as far as that, just show the uncut into space or around the ball, and you've got yourselves ball earthers, back to the ball, back to the globe. But right now, obviously, we go with science first. That's the key. Without science, we are just thinkers. We're just using poetry. Thinkers. We're men of activity. And unless there's any activity, decoders, you're pretty much talking pseudo stuff. Eh?
So pseudo stuff.
If there's no activity, you're in
So
captivity.
you come to me and present me how it is a pseudo stuff, and you claim me because I am doing the pseudo stuff.
Yeah. Because remember,
so
we do science first. Yeah.
Okay. So we do science first. Yes.
Yes.
So in your point of view, science is sitting on Discord and chatting about something that you don't know, and putting people to do experiments for you. This is science for you.
ad hominem.
No. Of course.
Yes. Mate, you're talking about that Cavendish experiment in vacuum from what I have been started the Discord.
Yeah.
And you didn't do not fucking a thing.
Mhm.
So how come you are the scientist and everybody else is not?
Because we adhere to the scientific method, decoders. That's why everybody else is not, and that we are.
But what's your scientist method if you put people to do the experiments for you?
So these are very good questions.
Very good.
Very good questions. Yes, of course. So, obviously, you'd have that observed phenomenon in nature. Obviously, that.
But wait. If somebody's gonna do the Cavendish experiment in vacuum and you're not there, you're not gonna believe him. So you have to do it by yourself. Don't talk stupid things and bullshit things here and put people to do. Oh, did you done the experiment? No, so you're a pseudoscientist. You're talking from papers. You're talking from calculations. When everybody's going to present to you the calculations, you're not going to believe it. If somebody's going to do something, let's say a trip around the world with a plane, and is going to record everything in 24 hours. Oh, this is not because it have the cut on minute 24. Oh, this is not true. So, man, you're in the circle of shitty things. Wake up, mate. Take a job, live your life, or maybe one day you're gonna find a way to survive, not from the flat Earth, because this is, believe me, it's a really bullshit that you're doing. It's not from my point of view. Everybody who's listening right now, I think it's agreeing with me.
I agree with you. I mean, this is great advice. This is the kind of advice that you would offer to somebody to get them back on the path of normality, truth in your worldview. But all you've got to do in this instance is just provide evidence of your claim, decoder. See? Now, obviously, we're not going to go around chasing your fairies, leprechauns, and unicorns. Yes, if you say
I claim it because it's a camera on ISS was recording 24/7 the Earth. So that was my claim. Can you disprove it?
About what? Cameras on the moon?
No. Camera on ISS was recording everything on 24/7.
No, it is recording the Earth, but it cuts when it gets to the ice wall, and it doesn't show the North Pole or the ice wall. So I know there's something up there.
So did you have been recorded everything to see it?
Yes, I was the first flat.
Okay, I want to see the recording, and after I'm gonna see the recording, I'm gonna have a future discussion with you.
All right, I'm gonna get it up for you now. Why do you think I'm considered? And I'm not saying this. This is not me saying this. Why?
Mate, I'm waiting 24 hours.
I'm loading it now. Give me a second. I'm loading it now. I'm getting it all up now.
I'm waiting 24-hour uncut video with ISS camera who's recorded the Earth with the ice wall.
No, I didn't say that.
Thank you.
I didn't say that. Try to listen. So
no, with cutted video when is the ice wall or whatever it is.
You need to listen.
Wood wall or...
Now, why again? I'm considered one of the I mean, I don't like to blow the own trumpet, but we make discoveries because the eyes are open, the ears are open, and the senses are very high. Now, the ISS, is up there, the International Sky Station, I would call it. And so what we did, we observed it, watched it throughout the day, and we discovered that if you compare it to the flat Earth map, the camera cuts out when they reach the ice wall. Okay, so I didn't say they show the ice wall; they cut the cameras before they get to the ice wall, and then when they get past the ice wall, they turn the cameras back on. Then they get to the ice wall, they turn them off. You get to the North Pole, turn them off. Get past the North Pole, turn them on, and so on and so forth. So I discovered that. Let me get the video for you, like I said. Yes, because when you've got good eyes and good ears and you pay attention to what's going on, things start to fall into place. Now, I denied the ISS originally. I was like, no, there's nothing up there. Space is fake. And all that stuff, right? And then the ballers here forced me to watch it. So we spent a whole day together. Quite a good day actually, because everybody had the live stream and we were all watching together. And I said, and I seen it go past like down Africa, right? And I said, okay, this is the first time we were watching. I said, okay, if this is real and we're on a flat Earth and the camera is real, when it gets to South Africa, the camera must cut, has to cut. And everyone said, oh no, you're crazy, don't be stupid, how can you know when it's going to cut, it's just random. I said, well, and this hadn't reached the south yet, so we're still talking like this. I said, well, it's got to cut, because if it is a flat plane and they are hiding the ice wall, that's where the ice wall is, south of Africa. And we waited patiently as it went down the coast of Africa, bang, it turned off at South Africa. I was like, oh yeah, I told ya. They said it's a lucky guess. We said, let's look again. We waited till it went all the way around again. Bang, again, they turned it off. So then we started watching it in more detail. We could see that they would turn it off anywhere near the south. If it's not cloud coverage, they switch it off. If you go near the North Pole, they switch it off. And yeah, we made a great discovery, and the video got a couple of thousand views. And yeah, that's why, people are considering. So there's that video if you missed it. That was a great discovery.
Very clever prediction you'd made that day. I'm sure. I mean, I wasn't there. But,
you were there, Kosho, yeah?
I'll make a clever prediction right now.
Was loving it. Oh, it was
if
amazing.
You were to,
Perv couldn't believe it.
If you were to make the same sort of predictions, you would not be correct. And I say this because, of course, you're going to be correct after viewing it one time, because it's going to cut off at the same place every time, because it's going around the Earth, and that's what's going to be in the darkness.
Yeah, but according to Qantas, according to Qantas, he said it was random, and it doesn't cut off like that at the same place. And I was predicting, Kosho, when it would turn on and when it would turn off in all the countries. Yep. And they were going crazy. And that's why I made the video, because I was getting it so right every time. I was like, I can't believe this.
Wasn't the answer ultimately that it was the deep
Moit
space
was
network?
here. Moit was like, make a
He's
map
the
from
oracle.
this. Moit was getting excited. Remember, Moit was here.
Yeah.
He was like,
Wasn't the point of the whole argument that it was the communications with ground broke every time they got to that area?
Yeah. You got your excuses now, but at the time it was groundbreaking because everyone thought it was random.
That's what I said the first time I saw it.
No, when we first did it for the first time.
Yeah,
Right now.
It's good being a flat earther. Hey, Merle. Fun.
Merle, it was when we talk about epic, because even I was surprised. I was going, it's going to turn off. It's going to turn off. Like the first time, I was, it's going to turn off. It's going to turn off. They were like, no, it ain't. You're a moron. How can you know when it's going to turn off? It's random. I'm like, well, if it's a flat Earth, and I was looking at the flat map, and I was like looking at where it was, bang, south. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, wow.
Kimo, you know there's a guy named Julian Danzer, and all he does is live stream the ISS all the time.
Yeah, okay.
So if you want to actually try and see that again, you should go ahead and watch that.
Yeah, go on, then post it then. We'll watch it right now.
I'm watching it right now.
No, what Beeble's talking about.
ISS right now is about to pass
What, you got the live stream now,
ISS
Beeble,
is about to pass over Africa right now.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Totally normal.
And about to pass into darkness.
It's
No,
totally
well,
normal.
it's night time here now. We were watching it in the daytime.
B-Ball and Kosho are just sitting there watching globe footage of the ISS. On their
No, well, we did that though, Mel. We did it one day, all day here. Everyone, it was really good. And Sean had the wrong stream. It was hilarious. He had a different stream to
Bro, what are you laughing at, bro? You're sitting here talking about it. Like what's the joke?
It's weird.
It's not that weird. It's weird that you're making comments about that.
It's weird.
Chemo just
also cool that
just said that he watched it for several rounds.
We watched it for the whole day, yeah. Because I was making so many
special
predictions,
effects.
and that's because I didn't believe it was real.
It's awesome.
And Curve was like, "Have you even watched it?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "Right." I said, "Like, let's watch it then together." So we all watched it.
You guys know it's special effects, right?
So, but
no, Mo, that's not got there, Mo. Mo, you look at it yourself, Mo. Look at the flat map.
Wait, Chemo. Why would the clouds match when we look at ISS and then we look at another source? Why would the clouds match?
I said there's something up there. Not denying there's
Not
something
the
up there.
ISS.
I don't know if it's
Globe.
the ISS,
What
but
is
there's
it?
something up there, and it cuts out when it reaches the ice wall. Why would they do that?
Gotta go to bed.
It was probably nighttime that it was going into.
No, Kosher, we watched it all day long. That was the point. We watched it in all, and I was predicting every single country that it was going off. Wasn't just that, Kosher.
Where was it when it went to nighttime then, if you're watching it the whole time?
We watched it all day. It was an all day.
Okay, so where was it when it went to nighttime in the path that you watched?
Kosher, we watched all the southern countries, Brazil, South America. We watched when it went to Australia,
So what
the
is
south
it?
of Australia.
What is it then, Merle?
What?
It's not real. What is it?
Kosher, you missed it.
I'm trying to wait. I'll wait for your answer.
Exactly. Moyoc knows now.
Moit
It's
was here,
special-
Perv was here, Shaw
What
was
is it?
here. There was loads of us
special
here.
effect.
Okay, I'll ask again, Kimo. Where was it when it went to night? There's a part
I can't
where the
remember,
sky is
Kosher. I
daytime,
can't
it's
remember. It was
nighttime.
ages ago. I can't remember.
Right.
It was ages ago. I
What
don't
time of the
remember.
day was it?
What are you talking about?
What time was it in the day when you did this?
Listen, I've got to go. Let me say this one last thing.
I know what you mean, Kosher.
Every time they show you the globe, just know it's not real. It's not real.
Oh yeah, just tell
And
yourself.
every time you,
Just keep
every time
repeating.
you, every time you see it, you know it's not real.
Yeah, just
remember
keep
that.
repeating it to yourself.
Thank
It's
you,
not
Merle.
real. It's
I'm
not
gonna
real.
finish asking
It's
Kimo the
not real.
question I'm asking now.
Mo,
It
go
can't
and
be
watch
real.
it. Well,
Repeating it
Mo,
to
just
yourself.
do it
Maybe it might be
yourself,
true.
right? Go and check the flat Earth map and look when they cut the cameras and ask yourself why would they cut the cameras at these points? Why would they do
Okay,
that?
that's fantastic. Now, Kimo, what time of the day was it?
It
when
was
you guys
all
were doing
day,
this.
all day, all day. It was all
They
day.
believe in a water ball. It's so weird.
We're going to bed
Guys,
now.
you need help.
What time is it over there, Mel? Is it late?
Okay, so, Kosha, in answer to your question, it did show a disconnected signal when it got down toward in the southern hemisphere. Somewhere between the continents and Antarctica.
Of course
And
it
it did
did.
that several times. It also broke once or twice in the Pacific.
It was an epic day.
Kimo even claimed that there was an ice wall outside of Japan.
And it cut all these places where I said it was cutting.
Right, randomly.
No,
except
it
for the
wasn't
places where it
random.
didn't cut
I was
random.
even counting down. 10 seconds. It's going to cut in any minute now. And bang, it cut. That's how good. That's why I made the video. So they cut in all the right places on a flat Earth where you're supposed to cut. Now, if we're on a ball, why can't they show what's being hidden? You never ever see. You'll never ever see.
If we're on a flat Earth, what's keeping it up there?
Look, forget that. Ask NASA why do they cut.
No, that's a pretty good question, man.
No.
What's
You
keeping
need
it
to
up
ask
there?
your own company why are they cutting the
And
camera.
also,
see,
why
you
do
can't
the
handle it.
clouds match? Why do the clouds match with what we see in
Why
reality?
wouldn't they match? There's something up there. Do the clouds match when the camera's
So
cut?
what is it?
Listen, when the camera's cut, can you give me the
And
clouds?
what is it? And what's keeping it up
No,
there?
I asked you about the
Is it
cut
balloons?
cameras. When
It's
the
a very
camera's
fast
cut,
balloon.
listen, when the camera's cut, what is the cloud coverage then?
That's a retarded question, Kimo.
That's the point.
It's a retarded
That's the
question.
point, is that there is information missing when they cut the cameras every time in the same place every time, without fail.
All right, in about 25 minutes, it's going to go down by the ice wall, Kimo. Is it going to cut?
It depends on cloud coverage. If it's cloud coverage, no need. If there is,
I don't know if it does. It doesn't. Let's go look at the satellite image.
well, it depends if there's a cloud coverage. If there's a cloud coverage,
Let's go look at the
you never
satellite
got to
image and
cut.
find out.
What's the point in
Himawari.
cutting? You can't see anything. The clouds are covering it.
We can just look at Himawari to see that.
I'm just talking about the ISS. So sometimes over South America, it doesn't
No, we
cut
can see whether it's cloud cover or not.
because it's in the rainforest and there's lots of clouds over South America sometimes, so they don't need to cut. But obviously, if there was a storm, they would have to.
No, this isn't South America. This is between Australia and Africa. It's going to go down by the ice wall.
Australia and Africa. Every time they reach South Africa, they're going to
Here,
cut the camera.
let's help you out here. You can look at it with us.
Is it in daytime or nighttime?
Day and night time. Day and night, they're going to cut the camera. Day and night.
Well, I'm looking at one here, and it's not. I'm looking at the one I just posted. It's like 11 hours long, and it's right down by Antarctica, and it's not cut.
No, I said
It's just
South
dark.
Africa.
Oh, only in South Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
This one's going right by the bottom of South Africa, Kimo. I just posted it so you can watch it with us.
All right. Yeah, but is it in South Africa yet?
Talking about
It's about
Antarctica.
halfway down Africa, I think. Hold
Yeah,
on.
watch, and it's going to cut. I already know it's going to cut. I don't need to
Yes,
watch it.
but
You're
they
going to
don't
tell
get
me
any
it's cut.
This one is right south of Australia. It's at a wait. Let me see how far.
What do you mean? How can it be South of
It's at
Australia and South of Africa
6
at the
hours
same time?
43 minutes. The video I just posted 6 hours and 43 minutes.
Is that live
It's
now?
just
people?
south of South Africa.
Goodness
I mean
sakes.
Australia.
Is that live now?
No.
Okay. What can you see?
The video I posted. No, you said that it always cuts around that time, and I'm looking at a video and it's not cut. It's and the ISS is south of
This
Australia.
is 11 hours long. How am I supposed to know?
It's just really it's at nighttime, so it's dark.
This
you
is
can't see
11 hours long. This video.
Yeah.
So what's the timestamp?
6 hours
Oh, you
and
gotta
go
be
to
kidding
like
me.
6:40.
No. Just wait till it gets to South Africa and then call it in, and then we'll see.
Oh, only in South Africa it cuts, right? Okay.
No. It doesn't just cut there. Obviously, I just told you. Depending on the cloud cover, it won't cut.
Look, I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling
Why
through the
would it depend
video.
on the cloud cover?
right? I'm scrolling through the video, and
Oh my gosh.
it doesn't cut. It does. It cuts like once.
People,
or
you don't know
twice
what you're talking
an
about or
entire-
even doing. Just go to the
in the
live
entire
feed.
11 hours.
Go to the live feed. Wait till it reaches South America, South Africa, North Pole,
I posted that for you, Kimo.
North Pole
10 more minutes
region.
left.
No, you didn't post that.
No, I did. I posted it.
Just
This
take
is
a
live video
screenshot.
from the 8th.
Just take a screenshot of what it looks like when in the south.
No, you can watch it with
No,
us.
I've already made my video. I've done it. We've proven
Okay,
it.
then shut
You
up.
can't show it.
And shut up.
No, that's what you should. That's the recommendation for yourself, Moyak. With your stories. No video.
Hey, Kimo.
Yes.
Shut up, you lying sack of shit.
Wait, guys, is it possible that it can't broadcast 4K videos when it goes over this area? Is it possible?
The Bible for life. This is night. Yes. Sorry.
Dude, he's asking you a question, man.
Oh yeah,
There's
go
a
on.
guy asking you a question.
Go on.
Don't
Go
just
on.
ignore
Fair
him.
enough. Fair enough.
Is it possible that it can't broadcast 4K videos? I'm emphasize 4K videos while it goes over this area.
What are you asking? Can it show 4K video?
No, I'm asking, did you consider this possibility?
That what?
That it can't broadcast 4K videos when it goes over this area?
He's asking you.
Oh right, I get it.
responsible
Yeah.
for
So
that
that's the
content.
excuse. But it
No.
can't. What?
I don't make a claim. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. But
I'm telling you what's going on.
I'm
They're
asking.
hiding the ice wall.
So I'm asking you, did you consider other possibilities
Like they can't show 4K video. Is that what you're saying?
while going over this area? Yes. Did you consider
I
that?
didn't consider that. No. So why would 4K not be able to show the ice wall?
Well, it could be. It could be that while going over certain. Could be that while it goes over certain. Look, 4K videos requires a lot of bandwidth when you talk about satellite communication. Okay, so I mean, yeah, satellite communication, because the ISS doesn't broadcast directly to the ground. It broadcasts through a network of satellites, and 4K requires relatively high bandwidth. So when it goes over this area, it might be, I don't know, but it might be that the way that the satellites network organized around the sphere just doesn't let him broadcast in such bandwidth. Anyway,
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm saying it as a possibility. I don't know really what it
Yeah,
means.
that's fine. That's fine. But no, that doesn't happen because wherever the ice wall is, unless there's cloud coverage, you're not going to see that part of the Earth. nor the North Pole either.
Chemo, you said it cuts every time it gets down there. You never show it down there where it's on. So is there possibilities of communication error in that area? A limitation of the
He
network
just said that,
bandwidth
Moyet. You're not
between
listening.
networks.
He just said this similar thing.
Right.
If that's
so
your
why do you
excuse,
say
fine,
no,
but that's
no?
not what Qantas was saying at the time. He was saying it's just random.
I don't care what Qantas said.
Well, again, you can argue amongst yourselves. Random, it's not random. Because I discovered it, now it's not random. That's why these things are epically discovered, you see? Because now you're confused. You're saying, well, he knows when it's going to cut. You're saying that if I can figure out when it cuts off, then it must mean it must cut off there, automatically every time. That's not the case because Qantas says it's random.
So what do you say happened, Kimo? They tried to hide what? The
They are
ice wall?
hiding the ice wall. Yes, I figured it out.
But we know there is an ice wall. Why do they need to hide it?
Because
do you really think that from where it gets to, it can see Antarctica?
Yeah, because you're so high up. Yeah, such a long distance. Yeah.
No, it can't.
Look, I figured it out.
And you can see where it is and how far it can see.
I don't know why you even argue with me. Look at the live stream.
It can see a few hundred kilometers. That's all.
Listen.
The green circle is the line of sight, I believe, from the satellite.
Qantas is one of your top ball earthers who doesn't argue anymore, but I'm sure people here are here and get hold of it and tell you that he told that it was just random.
So that's what? Maybe the horizon.
You talking about Quartus, right, Kimo?
Yes.
Appealing to authority, Kimo?
That's your guy.
No, you're appealing to it.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that you're arguing with him.
You're not appealing to him.
I'm not appealing to him. I'm letting you know.
Why are you appealing to him? Don't bring him up.
Because I'm hearing double stories from ball earthers. 1 minute it's this, 1 minute it's that.
Are you appealing to Quartus?
I'm appealing to the double standards, the double stories that we get told. That's the point. So again, I made a video on it when it was discovered because again, it's not anyone has seen this. Everyone thinks it's either fake or like you hear Jeremy thinks it's nothing up there. Mel thinks it's not up there, and but now after watching that just convinced me that something's up there. And if you want to know where the ice wall is, just watch it, and they show you where the ice wall is.
17,000 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, but I reckon that's why I reckon they cut as well to change the craft that they're using.
Oh, put a new rocket up.
Something new, yeah. So exactly, why do they cut? If they didn't cut, then you don't know where they're going, what they're doing. See, it's all very cloak and dagger at that point once the cameras are cut.
Have you ever tried calling NASA up and asking them for the footage that's been recorded instead of just the live stream stuff?
I would love to ask. That's why do you think Veach is here? NASA. His father's NASA. Veach is NASA. He's a space person. We've got rocket scientists.
Your dad worked for the telephone company. That doesn't mean that I got free phone service.
No, but I'm saying we've got Veach. Veach should be putting us straight through to the NASA reception and we can start asking questions. But we don't get to do that. We've got rocket scientists here who just mocks Jeremy all day. Again, we don't get to do that. So we want to know why.
Imo.
Yes.
Can I ask? I don't know if it's too personal, but what did your dad do, or what does your dad do as a work?
It's not about me.
Okay, but you made it about Veach though. So I'm just like, if your dad is a
Veach
plumber,
tells us
can we say that plumbing is fake, and then ask your dad to prove it?
Because Veach tells us his father went to space.
And he's a TV writer. He has nothing to do with NASA. His dad died a long time ago. What does it have to do with anything?
Because he's connected to NASA and Hollywood.
His dad is dead. He's not connected to NASA at all.
I'm not talking about his dad. I'm talking about Veach being connected to Hollywood.
I'm not connected to my dad's work.
I'm not talking about his dad. I said Veach is connected to Hollywood.
No, he isn't. Oh, Hollywood.
No, it's Hollywood,
has nothing to do with NASA.
Hollywood, NASA is the same thing.
No,
Disney, Hollywood, NASA is the same thing.
You can say that,
Military,
okay,
Disney,
England and
NASA.
Sweden is the same thing.
What?
England and Sweden is the same thing.
No.
Yes.
They're not institutions or corporations.
Your logic there.
They're not corporations.
They are institutions.
They're not businesses.
NASA isn't a corporation. Hollywood isn't a corporation and NASA isn't a
It's
corporation.
just a business, aren't they? Yeah, they're businesses.
No, they're how is Hollywood a business?
Hollywood is a
That's,
location.
Yeah, it's a location, a geographical location.
No, well,
And
Hollywood is showbiz.
NASA doesn't do things for profit. So, I mean, they're not businesses.
Hollywood is where the magic happens.
It's not like Hollywood is this big, overarching business. It's a bunch of smaller businesses that work in a location that happen to produce movies.
So the point of that, anyway, before we derail
which has
too
nothing
far,
to do with NASA.
was to say you said call NASA, and we've got NASA essentially here, okay? And
we don't.
Yes, more or less. Okay, we should be able to ask these guys, why do they cut the camera when they reach the ice wall? The ballers want to know what's beyond that.
That's begging the question. That's begging the question. You're assuming there is an ice wall on that question. You shouldn't answer that question. That's a malformed question.
Well, how does
it's like,
the water...
this guy's like asking you, when did you tell your parents that you sucked dick for $1? That's
No, but
assuming that you sucked dick for $1.
Okay, fine, but how does the water stay on the Earth then?
Gravity.
Contained, right?
It has weight. It has weight.
Okay, but how does it stay on the Earth without falling off?
Yes, it has weight.
Because it has weight.
As a non-moron, if you wanted to ask a real question of a real business like NASA, you would say something to the order of, when it crosses this latitude line, why does it the camera typically cut? Not when it's coming to an ice wall, not when it's running into the dome. The question should be formed in a more proper way, I would think.
Reasonable way.
What would chemo be without a malformed question?
It's not like he would believe any answer they give him anyways.
Yes.
It's meant to be random, so what's the problem?
Cordes told me another thing.
Listen, remember, most people won't be thinking like that. It's because of the ice wall. So they'll just tell you it's just random. Oh, that just happens, we lose connection.
Yeah, but then you can ask why that happens.
Well, they just lose feed. They tell you on
You
the
could
screen.
ask why they lose
why? You
connection.
can ask
You
why.
them
They
lose
tell
the
you why on the
connection.
screen. Loss of signal. We are working on it to
No,
bring it back.
how is loss of signal the explanation of how you lost the signal?
When you lose connection, they've got to put the connection back.
Oh my god. Yeah, but why did they lose the connection? That's the question you should ask.
Because they're too far away from the antenna or whatever it is.
There you go.
That's the answer. Yeah, that's what they would say.
That should be
What's wrong?
predictable.
Yeah.
All you do is follow the circles of the coverage of those antennas and see if the cuts are happening in that area.
So why couldn't they just record it then? When instead of
They could.
no,
That's
no
what you
one's
should
ever
ask.
seen that part of the Earth ever.
You could ask
Kimo,
them.
that's
Not
what
a
you
good
should ask them.
Why me? It's your ball.
Maybe.
Well, I don't have an issue with it. You do.
I don't have an issue with it. All we do is just reveal
Oh,
to
good.
people
Yeah,
that's
that's
where
good.
they hide the ice wall.
There is no ice wall on a ball.
There is an ice wall because you need to hold the water on.
No, because you said you have no issues with the ball. So there is no ice wall because it's a ball.
No, I have no issues with what NASA tell us because we know that they're going to give us a just so story.
Well, then you can ask, are you recording it like
Doesn't
not
matter
live?
to me
so
why
that you
they
have
cut the
recording
cameras,
of it?
right? To me, they only help me recognize that we're on a flat plane and they're hiding the ice wall. That's what they did for me. For you, you think that they're going around a ball and they just cut the cameras randomly because they lose signal.
No, they don't cut it.
52
because
million
they lose
pounds a
signal.
day and they lose signal. Okay then.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay
Just
then.
like that.
Yes.
Yes. Of course.
Just like airplanes can't be tracked with the radar because they're over oceans.
Yes, of
It's
course.
like you drop phone calls when you're on your cell phone.
Right, and you accept that, so that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. So all I did
No,
was
that's I don't accept it. That's a fact.
yeah, if you believe that's what's true, that's up to you.
No, I mean, are you saying that we can track planes with radars over oceans?
I'm saying that you're not
Because that's what I
recognizing the
said.
coincidence that it cuts at the ice wall every single time.
There is no ice wall.
So why do they cut the cameras at the ice wall?
Oh God,
You don't see
they
an
don't
ice
cut
wall
the
ever.
cameras. The feed
You
cut.
can't cut the ice wall if you never see the ice wall, Chemo.
Well, we've seen pictures of
You
the
don't
ice
know that
wall.
it's at the ice wall if you never actually see the ice wall in the
We've
video.
seen pictures. You look at the flat Earth map. You look at where the cameras cut, and they cut exactly where the ice wall is on the flat Earth map, the Gleason's map.
That map is your assumption.
No, I'm just saying, you just look at the Gleason's map, you look at the ISS's path, you see that they cut every single time when they reach the ice wall and the North Pole, without fail, unless there's cloud
In the North
coverage.
Pole, in the North Pole also.
So, if you had a brain, half a brain, quarter, or any bit of a brain,
Kimo.
you would ask yourself, why do they cut the cameras on the flat Earth map at the ice wall every
Kimo.
single
Kimo.
time
Which map is
for
that,
20
Kimo? Which
years?
map is correct?
For 20
Which of
years,
your
they've
flat
lost
Earth maps
signal
is the correct
in those
map, Kimo?
places.
Hey, Kimo,
Kimo,
which
if
flat
I
Earth
take
map?
Which flat Earth map are we using? Are we using the AE projection?
I'm
now?
just saying.
Is that the
I'm not
official
going with
flat
any
Earth
map. I'm just saying, if you use the Gleason's map and you track the ISS, they cut the cameras at those points. Why? I don't know why. Why do they do that?
Okay, what do they hide in the North Pole?
Hmm?
What do they
No,
hide
no.
in
If I
the
wasn't
North
thinking of
Pole?
flat Earth, I'd be like, if I was a ball, I'd be like, I don't know why they do that. Why would they do that? But if you're a flat
I'm
earther,
asking,
you can put two and two
if
together and
it's-
realize that they're hiding the wall.
So because you're a flat earther, you just make something up instead.
Yes.
Is that what?
Okay.
No, we
so
put
what
two
do
and two
they
together.
hide? Kimo, what do they hide at the north? Okay, they hide the ice wall at the South Pole, like we don't know it's there. But at the north, what do they hide?
The North, I think, because it shows the connection between Europe and America. I don't know. David may be onto something when he talks
And we
about...
don't know the connection.
You just ask me my
between
thoughts.
Europe
Don't ask me my thoughts and then jump all over me when I'm just telling you what I think.
Yes, because tell us
Because
something
what?
we don't
I'm
know.
thinking... I'm a thinking person who was just thinking, why do they cut the cameras at the North Pole? Could be something there. We don't know what's there, right? We have no idea.
Kimo, it could. What if you use a projection maps that is centered on the Antarctica and they cut it in the north because there's an ice wall in the north?
Again, they don't want us to see something up there. So again, I don't know. You're just asking me to guess. But look at the flat Earth map. Look at the ISS and just ask, why do they cut?
Yeah. Why do they cut it in the north?
think
Because
you're
there's
onto
no reason to do it there.
There's no reason to cut in the north.
The real north is at the south, and the ice wall is at the north. And
There might be an entrance in the north where you can go into the Earth. We just don't
because
know.
the land is much closer to us than we thought.
Just making me think of things now and guess. Nobody knows.
Kimo, what if it's a ball and there's a reason for what they cut in the north and the south?
It's just in. The connection was lost going over the South Pole again.
It's gone off now, yeah? See?
So that's where I kind of would predict it would happen based on coverage of antennas.
Yeah, it just went off as we predicted, you see?
They got one in Australia.
Of course it's going to go off. We know when it's going to go off.
Yeah, on the poles. Both poles, north and south.
No, it's got no reason to go off at South Africa. It stays on. When it gets to South America, it stays on if the cloud coverage is good. So again, it turns off and there's no cloud. So make sense of that.
It's Deep Space Network.
If there's clouds over South Africa, they won't turn it off. But because it's there's hardly any clouds, it looks like they always turn it off.
What's your evidence for that?
Makes sense of that.
What's the evidence that
I've just
weather
posted my
causes?
video. What are you talking about?
I haven't.
I know
checked
it's
it yet.
devastating. Like I said, that's why Flat Earth exploded, because we made discoveries like that where the ISS was doubted until we were like, well, put it next to the Flat Earth map and just ask the question.
So Kimo, you're accepting that the ISS is up there?
I accept that. Farmer's boy, I said it's up there. Something is up. I don't know if it's people in there, but there's something up there recording the Earth, and they've obviously manipulated it to make it look curved, whatever. But the main thing, is that they...
hang on. So there is something up in space.
Not in space. It's called the International Sky Station.
No, Kimo. There's one small problem with this. If you acknowledge that the space station is up there, it can only be in space because it has zero aerodynamic properties.
No. NASA has some technology.
It can't be in Earth's atmosphere.
No. Remember Roswell in America? So NASA.
Yes, that was a balloon.
That's what the story was. So NASA have some technology that that bendy. Remember that metal that can, when you fold the metal
Roswell
up,
had nothing to do with NASA.
when you fold that
NASA
metal up,
didn't even
it spreads
exist.
out and becomes perfect again, or something.
Does it really? I see. So that explains how something with the aerodynamics of a barn door.
No, I'm just saying that they've
can
got
fly at
technology.
17,000 miles an hour in our atmosphere.
Yeah, again, well,
yeah,
we just...
you're Chemo, you're LARPing.
No,
Stop
I'm
it.
just saying,
It's not
again, you
even
asked me to
entertaining.
think. I don't know.
No, of course you don't know, because you haven't
Well,
made that
anyway,
shit
look,
up yet.
Solar's here. Wonderful. The Flat Earthers are here. Kosher and Veach are silent, and you have free
That's
speech.
it. Distract. Change the subject. Well done.
No, because I want to share the
Hey,
mic.
Chemo.
Hey, Solar. Hey, Solar. What's going down? So we're just talking about the ISS. Do you think it's up there, Solar? You're a flatty. What do you reckon?
You mean the Zionistic sky station?
Percent is here. Super.
Oh my god! Oh my god! No!
Oh, this. Oh, fuck me.
They've already been caught saying here in Maryland from inside the ISS. So they've already acknowledged that they're on the ground filming.
No, they haven't.
The concept of something that shape flying at 17 times faster than a rifle bullet is just ludicrous.
No, it's not. It's
The concept of putting humans inside that is
ludicrous.
even more ludicrous.
Here, Chemo, here's the Deep Space Network and its coverage footprint.
This is too
Yeah,
much
but
dirt
all
for
I'm
me to
interested
work
in is
today.
why
What a
it
bunch of
cuts
lying
off at the
cunts.
ice wall. That's it.
Yeah, look at the coincidental failure points of the Deep Space.
Anyway, look, it's not about me. Solar, what have we got
Not about
today?
me.
What angle are we going to destroy the globe at today? Do we have anything?
From every angle.
From all sides. Top and bottom.
There's just too many. There's just too
Just
many.
deny everything and say stupid shit.
Come on, Solar, there's plenty ball earthers here, more than you can handle. Let's bring up a topic. What do you want to go with? Gas. Okay, we were talking about gas pressure in the vacuum earlier on. And they seem to
Gas
think
pressure
that
in
you
the
can
vacuum.
have gas, like a ball of gas, in a vacuum. Is that
Really?
possible, Solar?
Who said that?
It's so against every law of nature that we know of.
Mm-hmm.
But I have also heard them argue on a very semantical level that it's not a ball of gas per se. It's a gas layer around the outer perimeter of a sphere. So therefore they've debunked us because it's not a ball of gas the way we say a sphere of gas. It's just the lining on the outside.
No, sorry,
But it's
Solar.
still the same point.
No, my
It's still
mistake.
Gas. In a
My
vacuum.
mistake. No. So we were talking about satellites with telescopes. So they said, look, here's a satellite with a telescope looking into space, and they were showing balls of gas, like no Earth, just a ball of gas, like a blue ball and a red ball, and it was just in the vacuum.
Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune.
Jupiter with all those swirling gases on top.
Let me try and find the picture. So they seem to think that's normal, and me and Percent earlier on were just destroying them with this. It's not possible. Try and find it.
You think
But it's gas pressure in gas pressure, so it's possible.
Can't find the
Jupiter, what do you
It's literally not possible to be caused by gravity.
Why is it not possible to be caused by gravity?
Because gravity wouldn't hold up against entropy.
Why not?
Entropy isn't a force, so
It's not a force.
Pressure is what
entropy increases.
Neither is gravity.
No.
It's not a force, but entropy increases when there's no containing variable, right? And if there
Entropy
is no
doesn't
containing
have to
variable, then
increase, it
entropy will
has
be
to-
high, and all this
There's
gas will
only when there's not a force in the system. Only when there's not a force in the system.
Exactly, and you wouldn't have had this a mass, basically. All this matter, they would have been spread out, equalized, would have attained its maximum thermodynamic equilibrium, and so it wouldn't have had the opportunity to amass. That's the second law of thermodynamics.
So
if you guys want
on
to put that
Earth-
on hold or
Second law of
supersede that somehow,
thermodynamics says.
that's fine.
That's
But
not-
don't
that
say
is
it's
not
due to
what the
gravity,
second law of
because it can't be due to
thermodynamics
gravity alone.
You're just
Yes,
making
it
shit
can.
up percentage.
yeah, I mean that means that our atmosphere is against the second law because we have a gradient. So
Unless there's something helping keeping it in.
Fucking
yeah,
gravity,
what is
dude.
that?
Gravity is.
I don't know. I don't know the
perfectly adequate to do
cause.
that.
I know that there's
Gravity.
Okay,
relative
then
density.
we
but I
don't-
know
we
that
don't
it's
know the
not
Well, they say
what
gravity.
you guys claim, because if you run it back down the flagpole, then it doesn't work.
Okay, then you have a cause which you don't know. Then I can say that I have a cause.
No, I don't
that
have a
I don't
cause.
know which
I
cause.
just know that your cause is incorrect. It fails internal
No, you
critique.
don't. You don't know that.
Yeah, and you don't even have a cause.
I do know that
so-
because
Just
it
assert
doesn't.
that you're just asserting that it doesn't work. You don't. Know
No,
that.
I'm asserting that
You
it
don't
flies in the face
understand-
of the
You
second
don't
law of thermodynamics.
understand the second law of thermodynamics enough to be able to say that it doesn't apply.
Then why am I
in this
whooping your ass with
situation. You're not. You're just making shit up. Percentage. I know a hell of a lot more about thermodynamics
Yo, I
than you
dampened
are,
this towel,
and
I
I
twisted
know
it
that
up,
you're
and I'm
fucking
slapping
wrong.
you.
Oh,
The second law of thermodynamics does not say that planets can't exist with fucking atmospheric layers.
Dude,
It
run it
doesn't
back.
say anything about that.
Down the chain, how it would
What
have
is
formed.
what is the second law of
and you have
thermodynamics
to
say?
have a
Please,
different cause.
please, one at a
What does
time.
the
One
second
at
law
a
of
time. Very
thermodynamics say,
difficult to
percentage?
hear.
Tell me
Very
about how the second law of thermodynamics was in play during the formation of these planets, please.
The entropy increased because you have friction when gravity causes things to come
What?
together. Friction that causes heat. That causes.
How did the
entropy.
gravity cause things to come together when the second law of thermodynamics is making everything equalized?
Second law of thermodynamics does not cause things to just be equalized. It does nothing to do with
As
that.
entropy increases, this matter is going
What
to
is
evacuate
entropy?
and
What is
achieve
entropy?
its maximum
Percentage. What is
amount
entropy?
of thermal
Percentage.
equilibrium.
Percentage. What is entropy?
It's the total entropy of the universe, not local.
We don't care about.
And the
local
universe
entropy
is an
doesn't matter.
isolated system, and at this point, there's going to be nothing but
Yeah.
vacuum with a little bit of
What?
matter. It's going to equalize instantly.
No.
Not instantly, but
No,
eventually
the
it'll
second law
always
of
attempt-
the second
it'll
law of
try to
thermodynamics.
equalize.
No. The second law of thermodynamics doesn't tell how fast things would happen.
I know. That's why I rephrased that
so-
immediately after saying it. The point is, it'll always
Percentage. You're never
go
out of your
towards
depth, man.
equilibrium,
Never out of your
thermodynamic
depth,
equilibrium. It'll try to eliminate any inhomogeneities.
The atmosphere is in thermodynamic equilibrium with respect to outer space because gravity is the equalizing force.
There is no atmosphere at this point.
Percentage.
Because
Why
the
are
second
you?
law
Why are
would
you alive?
be equalizing everything, so it would be
It doesn't just-
equalized
No,
within
that's
this
not how-
huge vacuum. So the pressure would
Why
just be a
are-
constant, and it would be very fucking low.
Entropy doesn't
Percentage.
say
How
that.
can you stay intact if the second law works like that?
This is an internal
don't you
critique
just-
Why aren't
of
you
your
equalizing
model.
it?
No,
Yeah,
percentage.
I'm
Why
not
don't you just fly
offering
apart?
a cause.
because of
I don't know the
entropy?
cause.
That's what you're
I'm just
saying
testing
should
your
happen.
cause, and it doesn't hold water.
You're saying entropy should just
It's
cause
not-
everything to fly apart because the pressure is lower outside of us. That's what you're basically
Not
saying.
fly apart
No.
to seek equilibrium. This is a natural
Yeah,
state
so fly
of
I'm
apart.
life.
talking about the formation.
Yeah, water.
When you
should
run
vaporize
run into the roots of
instantly
your
on
guys'
Earth.
model. I'm not
Rocks
talking about
should
how
fall
things
apart.
currently are.
Gravity is the force. It works perfectly fine.
But gravity wouldn't have
Gravity's
had a
not a
chance
force.
to amass
It's a warping of
if
space.
everything was equalizing.
Get
We
into
already
the
said this.
It doesn't need to
minutia
equalize.
of the argument if you don't.
Thermodynamics
it
doesn't
does.
say things are just going to equalize. It doesn't say that.
Yes, it does actually. It says it's
No,
going to
it
eventually reach
It
its
does.
maximum state
Eventually.
of
What does
equilibrium.
eventually mean?
What's that?
What does eventually mean?
It means that over time,
Yeah.
when there aren't these constraints that are limiting it, the entropy,
Yeah.
because it's increased due to these variables being removed, it will equalize. It's always going to seek to equalize. So any gas that you have
What
is
is
going to
going to
equalize.
What is going to seek to equalize?
Unless there's a variable that's limiting entropy, it's not going
That
to,
doesn't mean
it's not
anything.
going to stop.
Like
that
forces?
what the whole fucking blurb you just said doesn't mean anything.
It does, because
Yeah.
the
Well,
variable
no.
that is doing this
Fucking-
could not have been gravity, because gravity is a derivative of mass
And the mass
altogether,
was
mass
there.
tracking
The
mass,
is there.
according to your
The
guys'
mass is
model.
there. The mass is
So
already
if this
there.
mass hasn't had the chance to attract because of
He
entropy,
did it again.
then it couldn't be it.
Debunked gravity.
The mass is already there. It doesn't.
No,
it
it's
doesn't
not.
need to-
It's
yes,
spread
it
out
is.
everywhere.
It doesn't matter if
It's
it's spread out.
ubiquitous.
The
It's
mass spread out
equalized.
is what. It doesn't mean it's going to stay spread out.
The second law of thermodynamics is ensuring
No,
it stays
the
spread out
second law of
unless there's a constraint
thermodynamics
on that.
doesn't say that. It does not say.
So there
anything
has to be
about
another cause. By
That's why-
your own model, there has to be a second cause.
There's no objection to this. Everything seeks in its equilibrium. This isn't
What do you
even
mean?
debatable. Gases,
what do you mean?
gases will disperse until they fill the available volume. A higher pressure or higher density liquid will disperse or start to arrange itself in a lower density liquid to seek an equilibrium. So whether it's gas, whether it's liquid, it's probably only the solids that don't rearrange themselves because they're already static or stationary.
Yeah.
Well, not in the atmosphere, we have a gradient. In oceans or seas, we have gradient. There's pressure gradients everywhere, so there has to be a force.
But it's a
acting against.
dynamic. Do you agree that those are dynamic systems? So those gradients.
What do you
they
mean with that
fluctuate.
dynamic
A
system?
static system will
What
form
do you mean?
a pressure gradient as well. In fact, a static
Yeah,
system
I
has
mean, I
to
can-
form a pressure gradient in a gravitational field, and we measure that all the time. We always measure this pressure gradient.
Yeah, you guys are right. There's
Yeah,
a
I can-
pressure
I can-
gradient,
I
and there
can-
has to be a cause.
What makes
but
the
it's not
system dynamic?
Gravity.
What
It's not
makes the
gravity
system
because
dynamic?
if you run it down
Hello.
back to the source, it couldn't have been gravity
Hello.
because again, it could not have
You don't
overcome
understand it
entropy.
well enough to. Why couldn't have overcome entropy?
I've already
That doesn't
explained this.
make
bro.
sense. That's completely
Can one of the
nonsensical
ballers?
percentage.
Can one of the ballers explain to me how a
No,
bending
no. What makes
of
it
space time
What makes
can
the
hold
system dynamic?
oxygen
Crikey, come
in a spherical shape?
Hello.
Be
No.
fair now. You know we like
No,
fairness.
no. He said something, and I'm asking him, what makes the system dynamic?
It's got convection currents.
What? Where do they come from?
The
Introduction of heat.
The sun.
This temperature,
Remind you.
area,
Let me
pressure.
remind you when the
Do you
when the
deny
planets
their
formed.
dynamic systems, Chike? Do you
When the
deny that
planets
they're dynamic
formed.
systems?
Shut up.
Is
for
that
a
what you're
second.
trying to do?
Let me remind you, until the sun formed, there was no sun to make this system dynamic.
No one was here to observe.
So
That's your opinion. You don't have any evidence of that.
Shut up.
You're
Shut up.
speculating.
Shut up. I'm not speculating.
You are
Okay,
speculating.
you-
For
everything
all you know,
it's
the
not
sun could have been
dynamic.
created
Flat
by
is,
God.
flat is. There's
Shut
too
up.
many flat earthers attacking Chikey. He's been outnumbered. So go on,
Yeah,
Chikey. Make your
Chikey,
point.
for all
Yeah.
you know, the sun
So-
could have been there from the
so-
beginning.
Chemo.
Go
For
on,
all,
Chikey.
for
Hold
all I
on,
know,
guys.
it
Please,
wasn't there.
please, let him make
Yeah,
his
exactly.
For
So you
all
don't
I
know.
know.
He's outnumbered,
So,
guys. Let him
the-
make his point. Go on, Chikey.
Any temperature that was lost, as it lost now, you wouldn't get it again. And guess
Is
what
the
happened
universe
to
not
gases?
an isolated
And
system?
guess
Sorry.
what happened to gases when they freeze?
We can't talking.
Well, Chikey, is the universe an isolated system?
Why
or not?
is he talking? Why can't you let somebody finish their fucking
The
question?
universe?
Even
kinda
Chemo
out.
stepped
All right, Kurd.
to
I've
shut
got
the
it.
fuck up, you
I've
dumb
got
I
this.
know you have like. a
Why
thing for
do
me,
you
Kurt,
have
but
to
you
do this shit? Why are you even allowed to do this shit?
All you do is serve to obstruct discourse.
All you do is come in here and
Oh my
spew
God.
shit
Can
over
I
top
ask
of
Chike-
others.
Great.
can I
Stew in
ask Chike a
silence, please.
question? Can I ask Chike a question?
I'm gonna give you some fucking silence, bitch.
Okay,
Can I
please,
ask
Chike a
let's
question?
get back to. He's been outnumbered, flat earthers. Look, because there's more of you now active. Got to give him a.
Yeah. Can I just ask Chike a question based on what he just said about the sun coming after the earth? Chike, how is the sun having a bigger mass if it came after the earth? Because mass would attract mass in your model. That would mean the earth would have a higher mass, and thus the sun wouldn't exist.
Came off to the earth? Did I say such a thing?
You said the sun came after the earth.
No.
So that means
No, I
that
said-
means the earth.
He did not
Yes,
say that.
you
You said there was a
said-
dynamic system before the sun was here. That's what you said.
exactly.
That doesn't
No,
mean that the
No.
sun came
I
after.
said
No,
there
that's not what
wasn't
he said.
dynamic system until the sun formed.
What had a dynamic system? The Earth that was here prior to the sun.
Nobody
what
said
you're trying
that. Nobody said that.
That's what
Mhm.
Chike's.
You guys are putting
Uh,
words in his mouth.
What does
You guys are putting words in his
before-
mouth.
Sorry.
Stop lying. Stop being dishonest.
No.
Nobody said that the sun
No.
existed before the earth.
Chike
He said
did.
this. Chike said the sun
No,
came
what
after
I
the earth
said-
because he said before the sun came.
Now let him say what he
wasn't a
said.
dynamic system.
Now let him say what he said.
I'll
Okay.
repeat what I said. I said until the sun formed, there was no dynamic system. Nothing prevented the planets
On
to
the
form.
Earth.
So
No,
the
you were
planets
talking
in
about
general.
the gas because you asked about
before
you
the
asked
sun.
about the gas and you said how can the atmosphere be a dynamic system, and then we said heat, and you said what from the sun, and then you claimed that it was a dynamic system before the sun.
No. You need to
Yes,
learn
exactly.
to listen. I said until the
This is-
sun formed, There was no dynamic system. Therefore, all your bullshit about dynamic system do not hold at that time.
Tyke, do you even know what a dynamic system is?
There was no
Do you
dynamic systems until there was a sun. Everything
you can't
cooled
have-
down.
That's
And
my
how were we
point,
talking
Tyke.
about? How were we talking about the time before there was a sun and before there was? We weren't. We were talking about the present day, and that dynamic systems are present. So therefore, the gradient does vary at times based on the heat that's introduced into the system. And you were arguing no.
There's always a pressure gradient, and it's always measurable, whether or not the system is dynamic or static.
And you don't think that that varies at daytime versus nighttime?
Yeah, if I have a tank of gas, like a diver's tank, it has weight, so there's a pressure gradient. More force down than up.
And if you
that's a
introduce
closed
heat,
system.
what happens if you introduce heat?
Still has weight.
Still have gradient.
I'm not questioning weight.
No,
Does that
weight.
gas
If you
start to
have
move
weight.
around like a dynamic system?
Still, you have a gradient.
Yeah, it's still down because there's weight.
A dynamic gradient.
Sorry, where you guys got this gradient in a
No,
gas
gradient.
canister? Where do you get
Nothing
this
disturbed the gradient.
Sorry, have you ever gone scuba diving before? Where do you have a gradient in this gas canister?
In the weight of the gas tank.
In the gas
No,
canister,
the gas
you have
tank
a gradient.
itself. No, how do you have a gradient? Have you measured this gradient in this gas canister?
Yeah, if it weighs more
Or is it-
full,
Or is it just an assumption because it weighs more? Now it's got a gradient.
it has to have it.
No, it doesn't. Gas
It
moves in
does.
all directions at the same
No,
time.
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Flatzoid,
does.
flatzoid, flatzoid,
Yes, it does.
flatzoid, flatzoid. If it moves in flatzoid,
of the ideal gas
flatzoid. If it moves in all directions, then the weight wouldn't change when you fill it up because the force would be equal on all sides, but it isn't.
No, you know what? You know why that's false?
Why?
Because I actually did a demonstration with a bottle and I heated up the gas, and it seemed to get lighter because I heated it up.
Okay.
About
So
0.2 grams.
Well, you opened. It was
out in all
open.
directions.
It was
No, it's a
open.
closed bottle. Closed bottle.
You had an
No.
open bottle?
No, but the
Closed
devil
bottle.
did it with a closed bottle. Didn't change.
No, he did.
Oh, he
it with a
did.
glass bottle. Sorry, how heavy was his bottle? Do you understand
remember.
that ratio? Do you understand it has ratios? That's why you have to use a
Oh,
light enough
flatzoid.
canister.
How lighter your bottle? No
Listen.
ratios. How lighter your
I'm still talking. Chike.
How lighter your bottle got?
You're out of control, Chikey.
Chike.
No, I'm asking you.
Chike.
No, he's kinda
I
calm.
did two
He's
I
kind of
did
calm.
two
but
demonstrations.
I feel
I did two demonstrations.
I'm asking how lighter your bottle got. Your bottle got.
Both, not the bottom, the whole canister.
The whole
The
canister.
bottle.
How lighter did it get?
The first one with
So did you?
little heat went a minus 0.1 gram lighter. When I put extra heat in, it went 0.2 lighter. Do you understand?
Closed.
Because closed.
No.
Yes.
What kind of container was this?
A bottle.
What kind of bottle?
The thing is, you guys don't understand. The container Bearded used on his scale was too heavy to measure the difference because of the gas.
What kind of
Even
bottle?
Grams.
You guys have to understand the
Was it
ratio.
a plastic bottle?
The ratio is the big difference here. Just
Is it a
because you
plastic
don't understand.
bottle?
Plastic bottle, yeah. Use the plastic.
Okay, so it is.
When it cooled off again, it went back to what it was, to zero.
Yeah. Did you measure its volume?
But flatzoid, when it's cool, why does it register more weight?
Because it moves slower.
What?
You guys
So
are
more
saying
force when it's cooler.
Look, it's supposed to be heavier if it's got more force because it's hitting all over. You guys are saying it's got pressure gradient. So listen. You guys are saying it would be heavier because it's going to have more force on the bottom. Now I'm showing you opposite. I'm showing you opposite because it's got more force in all directions. It's not making it heavier, and thus it doesn't have a pressure gradient debunking your assertion with demonstration.
Okay, so could you address this? Is it possible that the gases inside the bottle cause the bottle to expand, therefore making it displace more air on the outside?
Yes, because it's a plastic container.
no,
You need
plastic
something
bottle
solid.
It's not that
expand
it
at all.
displaced more air on the outside. It's that
Yes.
the bottle was
So you
heated,
pick up more
so the
area.
whole bottle expanded, so the water inside took up more space, thereby decreasing the density of that bottle. And the atmosphere that it was in, it had less density, so it weighed less, because
Good job.
the downward
Good
acceleration
job.
would be less. Multiply that by the mass, the force was less, therefore it was a little bit lighter.
Yeah, and percentage. I can also debunk what they've just said about
So
that
you
as well,
understand
because
what
my
happened
second-
here, Flatzoid?
Because my yes, because my
Percentage
second
said it well.
demonstration, I actually took out more air than what I did with the first demonstration. So there was even less volume, and it was even lighter when I heated it up with more heat.
You don't get it, do you?
It's not to displacement into the atmosphere. It's actually, you guys are totally.
You don't get it.
What I do get it. You
No,
don't get it.
you don't.
That-
No, you don't.
You don't
Did he
get
manipulate the mass, morons? You guys think mass is the weight?
No,
Did
he did not manipulate the mass. He manipulated the
density.
downward acceleration.
So a
And
group of
volume. He
ballers
manipulated the
are all
volume.
shouting. A group of ballers are all shouting at the flat earther about
And
density
manipulated the cloud.
and relative density.
Dude.
This is
Exactly.
hilarious.
I'm a
Well,
flat earther. I'm trying to
Welcome
correct
to
what
Flat
he's
Earth.
wrong.
Therefore, it was
Hey, can we
light.
start with
Welcome
the
to Flat
supposition?
Earth.
Can we start with the supposition? What's the ball supposition versus the
So if you change density, does that
Yeah.
cause a change in the downward vector? Could that cause a change in the weight of an object if you
So
change
when you-
density?
No.
when you say density,
changing
what are we
mass.
referring to? Are we referring to a gas? Are we referring to a matter? What are we referring to? Like
Doesn't
let's
matter.
Let's clear this up.
You've
when
heard
you
the
hit it, you
discussion.
don't change the downforce, but you change the upforce.
No, you change the downforce too.
There's
the downforce doesn't change.
Because if it's
Hold on,
Doesn't change.
less dense, then the downforce,
Doesn't
like the
change.
downward acceleration, is less.
If you change the upward force, therefore you're counteracting the downward force, right?
Yes.
You guys,
Okay.
you guys are missing the point.
So if the downforce is the same and the upforce is stronger, you feel like it's lighter. It's not.
Flatzoid, it doesn't matter if it's
no.
gas moving in all directions. It's contained within that container. So that's like basically a
Exactly.
closed kind of body, right?
The way you
exactly.
again,
And the point is, these guys are saying that gas will be gradiated in that container.
it is.
I'm saying
I measured
it's
it.
not gradiated
I
because
measured it
if it was, I've also measured it.
with a
Well, I don't know
barometer
about
inside the
gradient, but
container.
definitely explains why it was a little bit lighter.
Did you measure it with
He
the
said that-
barometer inside the container?
Yeah, Flatzoid said there's weight, so I mean, there's weight.
The whole
Weight doesn't imply
Of course there's
gravity,
weight.
dude. It's just in your religion
No,
it does.
weight's got nothing
Weight
to
is
do
just
with
a
gravity.
pressure.
Right. Measure it with a barometer inside the container. I did.
Good.
And
Every 3 feet, there's a Pascal of like 10 pascals of difference.
do you have this demonstration for me?
Let's see if I still got it around.
How big was your container?
3 feet long.
Sorry,
3 feet long.
3
So the
feet.
supposition,
And-
the supposition.
And was there
correct me if I'm-
was there different types of gases in there, or was it just
Well, it
one
was
type of
atmospheric
gas?
gas, a homogeneous mixture of atmospheric gases.
Was the
Great.
different type of gases in your experiment, Flatzoid?
Did you change the temperature? Or what did you do? Did you just fill it with, with gas and put a barometer inside?
To ensure that the temperature would gradient would be minimal over the 3-inch span of the pipe. Then I stood it up and instantly gradient established
So it was open.
after a second. Then I flipped the pipe over with my measuring device on the bottom side, and the pressure increased on the bottom. So it alternated.
So it was
high and
open.
low.
So the pipe was open,
No, sealed.
sealed. Okay. I would like to see these things. You
So
do know that
you're-
you guys
the
are
globe-
proving our point. You do know that you're proving our point. You can only have gas pressure in containment, though.
Exactly.
I have a gradient inside of
Just to
without a
clarify,
dynamic system.
just to clarify, your supposition, ballers, here is that there's a downward vector force affecting gas, right?
Flatzoid showed it. He
No.
measured
So-
weight with more
so-
air, so
No, no.
So Do you have an example of a downward vector force in gas, or do you need containment to show you that?
You need containment, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
universe
so
is
there's
contained.
no way there's no way for you to show a natural downward vector force without containing gas.
You can with a barometer. You don't need a container for that.
Barometer is contained, right? It's a sealed
it's
vacuum,
open.
right?
It's
A barometer is
I can show you it.
I mean, you could do it with
outside in the open
non-gas
air
object.
without any container.
Yeah.
You can do it with
So
liquids and
barometer-
solids, can't you?
Sorry, sorry, who did that? 3 meter,
That was
3
me.
inch,
Oh yeah, 3 feet.
3 feet.
About
Who
a
did that
meter.
one?
Yeah.
So you
Male.
realize when you have a solid
About a meter.
object, you have a solid object containing gas, but yet you're trying to show a downward vector force using a solid object that would actually naturally have that disposition to begin with. So how do you tearing off the system wouldn't equate it in my books as far as showing a downward vector force? You can literally see gas moving in all directions. There's many ways to do that. You're containing this omni vector, if you will, with a solid object, which you know creates a downward bias, right? So
And
how do
also
you
one
how do
thing-
you? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, and one thing they also don't understand is they are telling us that atmosphere is not the same as gas pressure, and yet they're using this atmospheric pressure to show us gas pressure in a container.
Yeah, it's sort of like a
Gradient. I don't
The
show
fact-
you in a
the
container.
fact
I
is-
never said container.
The fact is what is
yes.
there 20% oxygen and then 80% argon, or sorry, nitrogen, 80% nitrogen and 20% oxygen in the mix of the air.
Yeah, it's conglomerate. This is where Dalton's law comes into play.
What
mixture.
happens if I open a bottle of helium? Where does it go?
It fills the available space.
Okay, so it goes down and up and
No,
to the
no,
sides.
it goes everywhere. It
What
disperses in
goes
all
down?
So it goes
directions.
down.
What
Helium.
goes down?
Helium.
Helium goes down.
All directions.
Flatzoid said it goes down.
It disperses in all directions. I didn't even once say down at my mouth. When did I say that?
You said all directions. Down is a direction, right?
All directions.
Okay.
Even
So
hexasulfur,
helium.
hexafluoride still goes in all directions. It just takes longer to dissipate upwards. Just like
Oh,
helium.
why? Why would that be?
Because it's denser.
More mass per volume.
But when you're going to heat it up, what's going to happen? It's going to dissipate quicker. Why? Because it's got more
Gas is
energy.
unbonded. You can't talk about gas as a mass. Gas is unbonded. So each molecule behaves individually unless it's contained, and then it can behave like a mass.
No.
Do you not
has a
understand?
mass.
It's unbonded.
I don't
How
think-
can you say it's got a mass? It's individual
Each
molecules.
molecule has a mass.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
so you
but
want
if I-
to weigh each molecule individually, or you want to talk about this volume,
No.
volume worth of gas.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
Dalton's law. Dalton's law.
What you say, Flatzoid?
Why do you think? Why do you think they use Dalton's law and atmospheric law? Because it's the only way to conglomerate everything together with volume, I might add. That's why all gas laws, even your atmospheric law, still has to apply to gas law because it is gas. And thus, you need a container to have your atmosphere.
And
It's so simple.
atmosphere
And you
doesn't
guys,
follow
you guys just can't understand it. I don't understand why you can't understand. That's in my mind.
I do understand.
It's basic
I
stuff.
mean,
They
it's basic stuff.
they
The universe
rely
is
on
contained and
they
it's
rely on
expanding.
they rely on containment for their demonstrations, but then tell you to go outside.
No, we don't.
You
Yes,
rely
it's
on
exactly what you just
containment
did.
for your
No, we don't.
demonstrations. Chike,
No, I
you gotta
don't.
stop. Listen, bro, you gotta stop being
No, I
disingenuous.
say we don't.
If you don't, what can you present right now in the next 30 seconds that backs
Well,
up?
I can't present anything in the next 30 seconds, but
Well, why
coming
do you
up
assert it
soon,
then?
coming
Why do you-
up soon,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still
Alpha G
waiting.
experiment, well, they will drop one by one.
I'm still waiting for the
Anti-
demonstration that other
shut
person
up.
said about. I'm
Shut
still
up,
waiting for
I'm
the
talking.
demonstration.
I'm talking, Flatzoid. One by one, they will drop a anti Yeah.
Anti.
Still waiting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And while he's thinking, can I just ask that person that said they're going to show me that demonstration? I'm still waiting for it.
I am currently collecting the pieces of my experiment again.
Okay, thanks.
What is one of your dependent variables in your experiment? Containment?
Anti-hydrogen atoms, they will drop them in vacuum and see if they form.
Vacuum, and then it's not a vacuum anymore.
So, Chaiki, how do you get a vacuum? Do you need containment?
Nope.
Yes.
You don't?
What do you think a vacuum is, Chaiki? A vacuum chamber.
How did this help your argument?
What's a chamber?
Because you're creating containment, then you're removing the atmosphere of that containment, right?
Yes. So
okay, so you need containment.
And you're not making it.
I'm
a
creating
vacuum
the
anymore.
containment outside, not inside.
Okay, so it's containment.
For a vacuum.
Whether you create it inside or outside, it's containment, my friend.
The outside is contained.
All right, I got a
Great.
great
Great.
You're right. Outside has containment. That's why we have pressure.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Can somebody tell me whether Discord has the capability of displaying my physics toolbox? Can I share that screen on my mobile?
Would you know? Maybe you can do share screen. Won't that work?
Not sure. Share screen. I can share it to my TV and stuff. I don't know how to share it with you. Well, let me see what happens when I share it.
Awesome. But yeah, Chark, thanks for admitting there's definitely containment outside.
The universe is an isolated system, so there is a
Containment then.
it's expanding or containment. Yeah.
The universe.
Yeah.
Is it like a big balloon that's expanding?
We don't know. We don't know. Just like you don't know what's behind your container, so we don't.
Wait
we
a
don't make any
second.
claims
There's a universe. How do you know there's a universe?
because we can observe it.
So you can observe it. I can observe unicorns. It means their unicorns are real.
Do you have any
For
pictures?
you, they are. For you, yes.
Yeah, I got
we
a
do.
cartoon unicorn I can observe. Is it real?
We've sent shit to space, so I mean the container is much further than the moon because
So
we've
wait,
been there.
To clarify, you think things have been sent to space, correct? There's no way for you to
And
verify.
you think that
No,
it is
we can see
planned.
them.
Yeah.
No, I can verify.
We can actually. I can see the ISS. So
So you can see the IS there, therefore the things are in space, right?
well, if I see something in space, it's in space. Yes.
So I see right now my computer in front of me. It's in space. That means it's in space.
Oh,
Or
define
do you
your
mean
space.
out- Do you
Define
mean
space.
outer space? Do you mean outer space?
No, ISS isn't in outer space. It's in
It's in
interstellar
our
space.
space then. Oh, it's
No,
in
not
interstellar
but
space.
Not interstellar. Wrong word, but
So
the
low
it's
Earth orbit.
over 100 kilometers in altitude, so in space.
Right. So it's in space. So it's in our atmosphere then. It's not in
So,
outer space.
Chark, what
Well,
if we
it's-
told
Yeah, I
you?
hear you, Flatzo.
What if we told you maybe they're just still inside Earth's containment? Who knows?
Sorry?
What if they're just still inside Earth's containment? We can also make speculations.
I didn't make no speculations.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
What speculation did I do?
By assuming it's in space.
I see it in space, therefore it's in space.
So wait, you see it within our atmosphere, right? You see it in our realm. It's not outside of our realm that we see it.
Prove
It's
that.
inside our realm.
You're
You
making
can
an
see
assumption
the,
that it's inside our realm. What does
Yeah,
that
it's
even
inside
mean?
our realm.
That doesn't
What's
mean
the
anything.
realm?
It doesn't.
What's the
If
edge
you want
of
to
our
consider
realm?
the moon within our realm, because it's
Realm is
gravitationally bound to the Earth, it's fucking.
I can see the moon. I can't see the Methuselah star in the detail I can see in my moon. So one is either in my vicinity and one is not inside my vicinity.
Where does your
Right?
vicinity
Okay,
end?
so
I can
moon
see
is-
stars.
That's a
moon
whole
is
other. That's a whole other question now,
millions
isn't it?
miles away.
So moon is within your vicinity, like you're in your
Sure, why
realm.
not? You can see it. You can zoom in on it. You can get the details. In fact, I can
Yeah,
see more
people
detail
been
on the
there.
moon than I can the ISS. Right?
Yeah, people
No.
have been there. Yeah.
Not as small.
So they've been there, but they haven't been there in what 60 years?
So what
Yeah.
does that with anything.
Yeah,
Oh
I
wait, they haven't been there
I've
because what?
actually
They've
never
been there
been to
before.
Japan.
It's not
What?
scientifically valuable
this-
to go to the moon.
Oh, it's not scientifically
this the same-
valuable.
is
They've
this
been
the
there
s-
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
Is this the
scientifically
same-
valuable. It is no
is
longer
this-
Your
scientifically
guys'
valuable.
you guys'
We gained-
sophistry is off the Richter scale,
Is
man.
this
we
the
have
s-
we
is
have
this the
only been to
same-
Marianas Trench once. There's no reason to go there again. I mean, there's no
Is this
nothing.
I
the
to
wasn't
same-
there even
That's
once.
the
Is this
guy
the
sitting
same-
behind his computer. Yeah.
Is this the
No,
same
I'm not
people
behind my
that claim to
computer.
have gone? Is this the same people that claim to go to the moon, but every time have different stories with the same expeditions?
What different stories?
Weird.
What different stories?
Buzz, let's take the Saturn V for instance. Buzz Aldrin. No, it was a smooth ride. There's no shaking whatsoever.
Okay.
Neil Armstrong. It was the shakiest and loudest ride I've ever had.
Okay.
I see stars. I don't
And
remember seeing stars.
No,
And there's
no,
people who've
no,
been
no,
to
no, no,
airplanes
no,
and
no,
say that
no.
it was a bumpy ride, and then
Weird.
some people
You
say that it
flat
was
out lying right now, because
Am
he
I?
said
Must I get the interview for you?
he said I don't recall seeing any stars, and he looked at Neil Armstrong, and he shook his head also.
That's just the one.
No one
what about
said
the-
I saw stars.
You okay? And what
Okay.
happened to the Saturn V rocket? If they both went to space in the same rocket, and the one says it was damn loud and shaking all over the place, and the other one says no, it was quiet and
Yeah,
very.
it's
I've
impossible
gone
for
to
people to have
London
different
with my
experiences
girlfriend,
while
and my
doing the
my
same thing.
girlfriend said that it was a bumpy ride, but I didn't feel much because I mean I don't care that much about the air pockets and things like turbulence.
Chike, if you're gonna climb in a, let's say, 50-ton
Did you hear what he
vehicle,
told
and it's got thrust.
Oh, he's just
Are you and it's
doesn't
shaking
listen.
around the place, and I'm sitting next to you, and I'm telling you it's not shaking. What you gonna tell me?
say exactly what I said to my girlfriend.
Well, then you're just dishonest.
What dishonest?
Nobody's stories ever line up. Not one person stories line up.
If you used to ride the race cars, then nothing is
Yes.
bumpy for you.
You
That-
still
that's
feel
how
the
you
friction
ride.
on the road.
Oh, you other cars look
yes.
very
I'm
smooth.
a racing
Very
enthusiast. I
smooth.
enjoy racing. Believe me, there's definitely
Yeah,
road friction
very
no matter how long you
smooth.
drive. No, it's not smooth.
No, it's not smooth.
So, where you coming from, it's smooth. There's always road friction.
In the same
Braking
rocket.
and accelerating, braking,
Flatzoid.
accelerating. You're always having different
Flatzoid.
tensions.
Flatzoid. Were they in
Yeah.
the same rocket at the same time?
Yes. Saturn V5. Don't you know your own cult here?
I don't have a cult.
Can I just address the ignorance here? There is no difference between space and outer space. Do you guys want to stick with that? Because you got your
Who said that?
what's his name here? What's his?
But they don't even realize that they've got a religion here in
We don't.
heliocentricity. Who was Helios? Was Helios a god?
Nobody's worshipping
I
this.
have,
Who was
I have
Saturn?
no idea.
That's just
Who
silly.
is
I don't
Jupiter?
worship anyone, so
You,
I don't have
you
a
guys
religion.
are worshipping
a
Roman
sun.
gods.
It's
You
the
guys are
sun.
worshipping the
Helios
Roman.
means sun.
You worship
Helios
the Earth
was
because you have
the
Earth
god
as the
of the
center.
Solar system. No,
You
helios
call me a Roman god.
Scientific term. It has
And-
nothing to do with
and-
religion.
And
Yeah.
the funny thing
Are
is,
you sure
Has
about that,
everything
Left
to do
Lane?
with the
and the
religion.
funny,
Are you sure
and
about
the
that,
believe-
Left Lane?
I'm 100% positive.
Are you
and-
sure?
And
Peter,
and you know-
you're the religious one here. Come on.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know how you know it's a religious cult?
Why is it bad if
Flatzoid
it's
said
religious?
that we
Because
are
even
religious.
Why is it a
found-
bad
even
All
thing?
your
his
found-
videos
Even
says
if it
God
was
bless.
religious.
Even-
If it was
even your
religious, why would it be
foundation-
Why are
bad?
you projecting so much?
even your foundation of your so-called Earth, the Big Bang, violates every natural law we know.
No, it
Why do you
doesn't.
think
No,
that?
it doesn't.
So
Violet,
Flatzoid,
it's weird. It's weird if you
Flatzoid,
go if
Flatzoid.
you are
Because you said
building
so.
Flatzoid.
if you are I'm still
Flatzoid.
talking. If you can I'm still
Yeah,
talking.
and
If
you're
you
not
can
thinking.
build your so-called worldview on something that violates natural law, then yes,
I
it's
wanna
a
clarify.
cult. It's a
The
cult.
assertion that it
It's a
violates
cult
natural
belief.
law
What
doesn't mean
natural
anything.
law does it violate, Flatzoid?
First law of thermodynamics.
What does,
Nothing
how?
can create.
How?
Nothing
How do you
can.
know?
Energy cannot create itself.
Yeah, and
The-
Flatzoid, what does the Big Bang say?
Nothing. It came out of nothing.
No, it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't
the Big
say
Bang
that.
said that there was matter and it
Yes, it
expanded.
does.
No,
Okay,
it
how
doesn't.
did it
doesn't say
expand? How
about what
how did this nothing expand?
From a single point came
Where did
every bit
where
of
did this
mass.
energy?
So
where
what
did this
natural
energy
law
come
does it
from?
violate now
Where
when we
did
have
where,
matter
where,
and
Bang
energy
Theory,
already?
the Big Bang
where
Theory
did this
doesn't.
energy come from?
Okay, the Big Bang Theory doesn't.
He's got you nailed. He's got you nailed. Can
Where
you
does
guys
this
not
energy
let,
even
come
let me
just
from?
be
answer.
honest
Let me
enough?
answer the
Can you
question.
not even be honest enough to
Let me
concede this
answer the
one
question.
point?
Yes, the question. Let me answer the question. He said where the energy came from. The Big Bang Theory doesn't deal with this question. It's not part of the theory. End of story.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's
No,
based
it
on
doesn't.
heliocentrism.
It doesn't deal with the question where the energy came from.
Simple
Stop
question for
lying.
you, Flatzoid.
Your
Simple question.
CMB
Simple
Stop
question.
lying. It doesn't say where the energy came from.
Your
Relax,
CMB
Yossi,
background
relax.
is based on this.
Flatzoid, let me ask you a question. Very simple.
Are you
What's
throwing
the
away the
singularity?
CMB
It's a
background
straight, Flatzoid,
Are you-
straightforward question. Yesterday you were proven wrong twice. Is it possible that you're wrong now also?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. But you were proven wrong twice yesterday.
Do you or do you not relinquish now about the CMB background?
What about it?
That's where your Big Bang originated from, the CMB background.
You have two. The CMB is just proof of the Big Bang. It's not where it originated from. I'm sorry you don't understand what you're talking about clearly enough
that's not where it
discern a question.
originated from.
It doesn't
How
even
do
make
you
sense.
know-
That question doesn't
This
even make
is-
sense, Flatzoid.
This is exactly how
You don't
know your
understand
so-called
it.
universe
You
expanding.
don't understand it
Now,
well
the
enough
point
to
is
debunk
back.
it,
The point
Flatzoid.
is back. The point
No,
is
you
back
don't
to
understand it well enough to
the
debunk
point-
it. That's the
point
point.
is the point is back to your singularity.
Can-
Where
can-
did it
can
get
you
the
explain
energy?
the CMB to
Where
us?
did it get
That's
the
all.
energy to expand?
It was
Yeah,
there.
we
has
We
the
don't-
energy.
That's not part of the Big Bang cosmology. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not a question we can answer.
Where did you get
If
the
we
energy
try to answer
for
that
it to
question,
expand?
we're just speculation. Any answer to that question is just speculation.
Great. So Big Bang's not scientific.
That's like
we
me
understand
saying that your God violates the first law of
Stop
thermodynamics.
straw manning the position.
You
The
just
Big Bang
you
cosmology
said it's
has to do with what happened
about the creation of the universe.
after the energy existed
You know, it's very
already.
difficult to talk to six of you at the same time. By the way.
Well, the Big Bang is the best guess based on observation. How about that?
So, you all Jesuit priests then, because a Jesuit priest actually
no,
wrote the
no.
Big Bang
Who
for you.
cares who came up with
Okay,
it?
so
Committing a genetic
if
fallacy now.
Flatzoid, if a rapist invented a car, I would say that you're following a rapist if you're driving a car. I mean, that's fucking stupid.
Well, if you're going to
You have any
follow
friends
his,
that drive Volkswagens?
if you go,
Yeah.
You have a friend that drives a Volkswagen? Anybody you know?
Flatzoid is a
Hitler.
Nazi.
The Volkswagen.
Yeah. Oh,
I guess
I
you
Have you
don't
follow
owned a
Hitler now.
Volkswagen,
way.
Flatzoid? Have you
No,
owned a
I'm an
Volkswagen?
I'm an Opel guy, thank you, and yes, I did own VW.
No Hugo
okay, so
Boss
you're a Nazi.
cologne for you.
You're a Nazi now.
But the
because you
point of the
drove a
matter
Volkswagen.
is, the point of the
You
matter
have
is,
no
every root of your worldview is based on occultism. It's based in
No,
zealotry.
it isn't.
It's
based on my
Based on
observation.
in paganism. In
Based on
paganism.
observations.
Observations, Flatzoid.
No.
Observations.
Even the
measurements,
people that wrote it for you.
predictions. Who cares who wrote it?
Speculations, observation, and speculation.
The
That's
Big
all
Bang
we've got.
is
The amount
You
of ad hominem.
you cannot have more matter after. It's called the over unity. You cannot get more energy out of a system than the energy that was put in to create the system. And then entropy also ensures that there's heat loss and there's always a state of wanting to find equilibrium.
So what about
energy
the
yes,
Big Bang?
exchange.
that's why we're heading to a heat death later.
Your ideas of what we consider the natural laws of the universe, those concepts of the natural laws of the universe are based after this miracle where everything just suddenly sprung into existence.
No,
And
that's
even your
nothing
guys
says
say,
that
give
everything
us one
sprung into
miracle,
existence.
give us one miracle, we'll explain the rest. That's what your entire faith is based on.
Oh,
Okay,
we just
we're
say
not
that
going to
we can't-
address
we can't
what
explain
came
it.
before.
That's
We're going to
just wrong.
speculate. We're going to
Just wrong.
speculate.
No, it's no.
It's
we
it's the
said
same
we
way.
No
can't.
one
God
If we
did
did,
not
it
make
is just speculation.
God did not
No
make
one
two
said that
babies in
something
the
came
Garden
from
of
nothing.
Eden.
No one
God
said
did not
that
make
something came from nothing.
So listen,
That's what the Big
God
Bang
did
is.
not make
No, the Big
two
Bang doesn't
baby
say that.
Only Christian
Yes, it
apologists
is.
say that
No.
to try to discount it.
You're lying.
God even
You're
didn't
lying,
create
George.
the earth because it was
The
there
The Big
already.
Bang had
Who
energy
created it?
coming from nowhere.
No,
He created
No,
it
Flatzoid.
fully
You're
had
formed.
wrong.
energy coming from nowhere.
You're wrong,
He created
Flatzoid.
it fully
No, I'm
formed.
not.
Yes, you are.
Flatzoid, go to
Yes.
any
It was a
source and
singular
read
point.
about the Big
It's
Bang.
a
Read
singular
about it
point that
first.
expanded.
Please
that
provide
had
the
energy
citation.
from nowhere.
Please provide the citation. Right now. Show us that you're lying. Come on. Citation. Show us where the Big Bang say that there's something created for nothing. Show us. Show us
Big
so we
Bang
know you don't lie. No, don't tell me you won't. Show us a citation right now so we know you don't lie.
Why
Go
are you
ahead.
getting
Quote? Would you like a
Yes, I'm angry because you're lying.
Would you
Why
like
are
a
you
quote
getting-
from Lauren Cross?
Because you don't even know your religion.
Would you
You're getting
like a
upset
quote
at
from Lauren
You
Flatzoid.
guys are
Cross?
just making shit up. You guys are just
Would
like
you like a
going
quote
off of what the
from Lauren
Christian
Cross?
apologists say about the Big Bang Theory instead of what the Big Bang Theory says
Would
about
you
the Big Bang
guys
Theory.
like a quote from Lauren Cross?
No,
Talking
citation.
No,
about,
thanks.
Sure, what Lauren
talking
Krauss-
Read
about
about the theory
something from
first before you
nothing.
talk about it.
Lawrence Krauss is not the end all be all of.
Oh,
Big
you don't
Bang
want his
Theory.
quote though.
I don't
You
give
don't
a
want
shit
his
about
quote.
Lawrence Krauss says.
You don't want his
I know
quote,
he
then.
says he thinks nothing can come from something, or something can come from nothing. But that's
So
just
what's
talking
the,
about
what's the
physical
singularity then?
space. It
What's
has
the
nothing to do with the origins of the universe.
Hey guys,
You
what
might
if I told you? What
speculate
if I
that it
told
does.
you? What if I told you the Kabbalah taught the singularity way before the heliocentric model hit your eyeballs?
Tell you talking shit.
Yeah. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you do some fact checking?
Talk about religion.
type
Come
in-
on, give me the facts.
So you're just switching one religion for another. Congratulations.
No, I'm
the
trying to
same
tell
for
you
me.
guys that you believe you
Go
have
scan
a
the
belief
page for
system.
me. Let's read it.
You have a belief
the
system
same
founded
religion.
in philosophy, not
Yeah,
science.
it's a belief
on me
system,
not reading
therefore it's
Kabbalah.
bad, right? If it's a belief system based on philosophy, therefore it should be
Are you
rejected
are
out
you
of
saying
hand. I
it's bad,
agree.
or am I saying it's bad? I'm saying you have to acknowledge that it's a philosophy and not reality. Do you understand?
If you go far enough back in anything,
All
science is
projection.
ultimately philosophy.
There you go. So
Who
George
cares?
Mayer,
So
George
you can't know anything, data. That's what you're
Listen,
saying. You're being a
George,
nihilist.
no,
Who
it's
gives a
all
shit?
based on philosophy.
Well, you
Recognizing
know
the
that
philosophy.
God created
The difference
Earth.
between it's a difference between accepting reality versus philosophy. You can philosophize all about your life all you want, but it doesn't mean it's reality. Is the point? You had Albert Einstein, you had George Mayer, and then you had Friedman. They all worked together to produce the Big Bang model, which is all based on a supposition.
What the hell?
Argument. Yeah. Would you something? I'll put the paper in the chat for you. You guys can educate yourself on your own.
Come on.
Using mathematics to make predictions about the universe is not a religion. That's how they discovered, for
All based
example,
on a
Neptune.
supposition.
It's not
All
a
based on a
religion. It was a prediction that
I
came
don't
true.
think
all
Whereas
based
your
on-
religion does not
Again,
make any
Why don't
predictions,
you listen?
and they
Why
don't
don't you
come
listen?
true.
Why don't you listen and learn? It's all based on the sphericity, the supposition
You
that
don't
it's
have
a
any
sphere.
predictions, and the heliocentric model
You
makes
don't
predictions
need
which come
you don't
true.
need a ball to make predictions.
What is your
dumbass.
religion? So you guys are saying religion. I come in here and I keep hearing religion. What's yours? If that's important, what's yours?
So it's about the acknowledgement.
What's your religion?
Again, it's about your acknowledgement.
Your religion is about my acknowledgement. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Your religion is about my acknowledgement.
You're just saying, I know you
avoiding
are,
my
but what am
answer.
I?
That
You're
is
just saying, I know you are, but
moron.
what
weak.
am I?
So listen.
What's
do you
your
have a
religion? Tell me.
Do you
I'm
have a
listening
religion,
to
yes
you.
or
Tell
no?
me your religion. What is
Do you
it?
have a religion founded in philosophy? Yes or no?
That's not your religion. I asked the first question. You don't think I am.
a religion
You're a
founded in
feline. I asked the question first. What's yours? Mine's
So I
a
can
spinning
observe-
space. Mine's a spinning water ball, and I'm a space monkey. What's yours?
There you
What's
go.
yours?
So my religion is water creates equal elevation, no curve, no ball.
Mine's water too. Welcome to the globe.
So in other words, data.
Yeah, but I can demonstrate my reality.
equal elevation.
I said water first, so great. We're in agreement.
So horizontal,
Water
great.
curves.
So all,
Welcome
no,
to the
water
globe.
doesn't curve.
Water curves, does
Just-
it?
just give us one
There's your
demonstration.
religion. There's
Just
your
one
religion.
demonstration.
Your
highlighted
religion
your
is that it
religion.
doesn't. Yay.
One
You
demonstration.
just highlighted your
Physics
religion.
says
You
it
just
doesn't.
proved me correct. You just said water curves. You just showed your religion right there, dude.
Space monkey. You see, that's a fruitless argument, and it's projection, and it's
You see
deflection.
what? Yeah, you see why we say.
Again, you're using
guys-
deflection, brother, and projection. Again, you will not admit that you
You still haven't. You're still deflecting from what's yours. Your religion is water. You
will
continue
not
with that. Your
admit-
religion is water
admit-
what?
You know,
Data,
Dottie,
your
you know what's funny?
citation backlog goes, I don't know how many days.
Dottie,
You didn't
You will not
provide
admit
any.
that your belief
Data.
systems are just that. You actually think it's reality, and you're stupid for thinking that.
Dottie, you know what's funny? These guys have still
what's
not
yours?
shown us any demonstration for anything of their beliefs.
I live on a level plane Earth, as my observable reality tells me, motherfucker.
It's a boring
That's
religion,
that's not what
motherfucker.
my reality tells me. I can see
Yeah,
things
I
go
guess you
beyond the
want to be
horizon.
a space
So
monkey, right, bro? You don't want the
And
truth.
when
You'd
you
rather be a
realize,
space
level,
monkey, right,
when
bro?
you realize that it is level
how far
and
up
you
your
are
ass does Stewie
contained,
have his
you'll
ass?
know that you were created, and you'll know
No,
that
I'm not
there's a
created.
creator.
Amen.
When
You
you
all
know
come from
that
You have no
this
creation.
evidence of
place,
the
All of you
creator.
were
when you
Yes, we
created.
Zero
do.
evidence
that
for the
this
creator.
Yes, we
place
do.
is
All of you
level,
were created.
What
in a
evidence do you have for the
Everybody was
creator?
created.
Your parents were
It's,
given the
Scientific
power to
evidence do you
create.
have?
it's the
Your
it's
parents
the
were given the
primordial
power to
ontolo-
create, and they created you with their
What?
power. They were
You're
given the
What's that,
power.
stupid now
Flatzoid?
for bringing the play and the
First,
religion
No,
card.
let
I hope you
Flatzoid
learned
try
your
to bring
lesson.
some
Stop playing the
science in.
religion
Don't
card.
be
It's
an
really
nuts.
unoriginal.
Don't be stupid. You have a
It's
philosophy
stupid
that
card,
you
the
think is
religion card.
reality.
Religion.
And when you have a philosophy that you think is
you have a
reality, it turns into a
philosophy.
religion.
ontological
Funny how
primitives.
It's so
no,
weak.
no. What ontological primitives? Do it.
Either
If you walk on
nature
this,
or
if you
creation,
walk,
my friend. Either
yes, if you
nature or creation, one of the two.
if you
Yeah,
if you
nature.
walk
There you
if you
Yeah,
walk
you
onto
don't
the
come from
beach,
nature, you come from creation. You were created in a
if
Doctors
you
got the power
if
to create kids in the
okay
laboratory.
guys, if you walk on the
Yeah.
beach and you see a beautiful sandcastle built there, did that come out
Yeah.
of nothing or did someone create that
Flatzoid.
sandcastle?
Flatzoid. If
It's a
everything is
simple
created,
question.
then
It's a simple question.
just
I
answer,
asked the
just
question.
answer his question.
I asked
yeah,
the
that
question.
is okay. Is the sand next to the castle created also?
Yes, because it had to be
Okay,
there to be able to create it.
so everything is created. So how do you know what is created?
God created it.
How do you know?
No, who created
You're
the sand?
saying
Who
that you're
created the
looking at a
sand?
sandcastle, but everything you see is
Okay,
created. So you can't
can man
contrast it
just
to
make
something
some more
that's
sand?
uncreated.
Who
Okay,
created
okay,
the
Can we just make
sand?
some more
okay,
sand?
okay,
Hello.
okay, this
So
brings
if
me
Who
to my
we
created the
can't
sand?
make sand, then sand has to
okay,
be created.
guys, okay. This brings me to my next
Flatzoid.
point.
Who created the
This
sand?
brings me
Just make some
God.
more
Now,
grass.
okay.
Who?
Just
Okay,
go into a
this
lab,
this
make some grass, make some
Who?
sand.
okay.
Make
Wait.
Who
Guys,
created the sand?
Not
guys,
man.
Allah.
can I
No, Allah
finish?
did not create sand.
Can I just
Yes, He
finish?
created everything.
Nowhere it
Oh,
says Allah created sand.
Guys, please. I just want to finish. Okay, so this brings me to my next point. If
Yeah,
if
you
you
failed
had to
on
come,
first.
if you had to come and you want to create something out of nothing, God tells
Yeah.
you, fine, go and create something, and you pick up sand. What's He gonna tell you? No, go get your own sand, won't He?
So, who
Now tell
created
me,
sand?
tell me,
God did
how
not
you gonna
create
go?
sand. Who
I'm
created
God
still
created
sand?
everything.
Chike, you're not
He
talking.
No,
created your
no.
atheist
Give me
brain.
citation,
Chike,
please. Show me where it
Chike,
says that God created
Chike. Now,
sand.
if you, Chike, you're missing the whole point. Now, what you
No,
gonna
I'm
do
not missing
if
it.
you don't? What are you gonna do
You're
if you
going
didn't
to
have?
sand.
What
I
you
want to
gonna
know
do?
who created it. That's
What?
all. Who created the sand?
What you gonna do if you don't have the sand to create something?
Why don't you have it?
I'm going to order
That's a
from
weird
China.
question.
No, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's why I say your
Who
Big
created
Bang
the sand?
theory.
Who created the sand?
No,
God.
Flatzoid, that
No,
makes no
doesn't
sense.
say it's God. God was at the beginning. There was God and sand. Doesn't say who created it.
No, just God.
In the
And then He
beginning,
created
it was
everything.
just
Sorry.
God. In the beginning, there was God. God hovered over the waters.
In the beginning, there was the God and the
It was
waters,
without
and then He
waters.
brought
God
So there
made
was
the
the
waters
land
before God
out
created
of
it.
the waters.
God made the
Who made
waters.
the waters?
God made the
Who
deep.
made the waters?
God made the earth. God
God.
made the heavens.
No,
God made
Sounds
everything.
like
God was hovering over the waters. He didn't create the waters.
No, He
was
made them.
hovering over the
They
deep.
just skipped
He
part of
did.
it.
Where does it say that He created water?
God created a cheeseburger.
In the Quran.
In the
Guys.
Quran, a cheeseburger.
Okay.
But I mean, the designer argument that's so flawed that I mean that's stupid.
Why? It's natural.
But
It's natural. You cannot have anything in life that's not created. That's the whole point.
well,
That's
you
why we
can.
say
You
that's
can.
why we say. Okay.
Okay,
get
show me
some-
someone creating
show me
sand.
some-
Do it.
Show me something coming out of nothing. You cannot get anything that's not already here. You
We never
cannot
made
make
the claim
something
that
out of
something
nothing.
Okay, can I create something?
Yeah, there is no
from nothing?
creation. creation.
Can I create
here. There's
something
only
from nothing?
alteration,
God could
transformation.
Flatzoid. Can I create something from nothing?
No, you can't.
But
Okay,
God
so
can.
something from nothing
But
can't
God
be
can.
created.
You just said it. God can create something out of nothing. You just said so.
Yep.
Yeah, how can God do it? I mean,
God is
where's your evidence that God can do
can,
it?
but
But we
God's
can't.
working on God mode.
You can't
bro.
get something from nothing, but God does it.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
The fact that you guys are
God
laughing
did something
and
from nothing.
mocking,
guys,
But there is
the fact
someone
that
who
you guys
can.
are laughing and mocking at a
And we
God,
have
which
philosophy,
creates
right?
all things, and then go,
Guys,
how
We
did he
have
create it?
philosophy.
You have
guys.
no mind, guys.
No, you have.
Yeah, we do.
Because
You are
God
literally
don't have
saying, how can
everything
God?
from nothing.
You're
but
literally
we
saying,
can.
how can God create something from nothing? It's God.
Oh, right.
You guys,
It's
Please
nice
muddle people
I
philosophy,
challenge
bro.
any Glober here to create a single thing, a single particle, a single molecule, an ant, a gnat.
No one can do
Without
that.
starting with chemistry.
No
without
one
even
Yeah,
can
you
do
starting
it.
can
with
Not even
create
your
chemistry.
anything
God.
out of nothing, except
Yeah, no one can. No
everything
one can.
came
Yeah.
guys,
from nothing,
okay,
from
you guys,
God.
And it
okay,
makes
you
sense.
guys
Would
see the
every
point now.
would every man praise someone? Would every man on the earth praise God if he was like Steve down the road and he does exactly the same things that we do? No,
It's
he would
Steve.
have to be above everything. He would be able to create everything. He did create everything simply
God
by
is the
speaking it
space.
into existence.
He did create everything.
And you see,
Nice
you see
philosophy.
this, and you see this.
So
point.
And it's
God.
linked to
That's
semantics,
based on belief,
the
though.
resonance.
Then you would have to believe that there would be nothing for him to be able to create something in. So you'd have
This
to
is
prove that
Yeah.
nothing exists.
Yep.
God.
Where is this
Okay,
nothing?
guys, let's put it this way. God is supernatural. He created the natural world. He's not subject to the natural world he created. You understand? Just like we're not subject
No, he
to
was
computer
created.
just like
Again,
Super
that's
being
still
above.
computer
speculation.
program. We're not subject to
That's
computer
still
program we
speculation, though,
create.
because you can't know nothing.
It's not speculation.
Well, all we
It's
have
not.
It is
stuff.
speculation.
No,
Show me
it's not. It's
supernatural.
ontological premise.
Show me
You
nothing.
Show me
need a
supernatural.
beginning. God is supernatural there.
Why don't you look at the birthing process of a semen and egg touching and what happens? It's pretty supernatural, bro. There's a spark.
Mhm.
What?
That is.
There's a
So we're
spark.
supernatural
because-
beings. Okay.
There's a spark
because they,
that happens
Okay,
when
sure.
an egg and a semen touch. That's pretty
Sure.
supernatural, dude.
That's
And
And
pretty
then out
real.
of that, it starts producing cell after cell to create a form that you were created in.
yeah, if,
And that's just happenstance.
Yeah,
Then
it
your
is.
eyeball is created out of all that. Your
Yep.
eyeball is just random, insignificant.
And
If you
it's
think
unique.
that, you guys are being really stupid
Okay.
on purpose.
Okay, slow down.
literally-
God
You don't understand evolution.
created
you
a
You don't
literally-
sphere.
understand evolution.
God created the Earth a sphere, though. See, you're confusing the
No, he
argument.
He
didn't.
did, eh?
God
He
created
did
a
he?
sphere.
So he
Sorry,
created
what is
water.
Genesis
He,
say?
he created water to take
Ask
containment.
Kent Howard.
Yeah, he created a sphere. He
Okay,
crea-
okay.
And
yeah,
yet,
orbiting the
you
sun.
have a sphere
Yeah.
holding you by
You don't have to be. You're confusing atheism and science. That's not the way.
do you guys even
in
know?
the heliocentric model and creationism that
heliocentric means the sun at
Christianity
the center.
Like I
There was
prefer the flying
heliocentric
spaghetti
worship in
monster.
Babylon days.
I
Sun
think it was the flying
It's
spaghetti monster
sun
that created
worship.
the Big
Here's
Bang
how you know it's sun
pasta.
worship.
worship.
Listen, here's the sun worship. And if you think that God created a sphere, then I'm going to tell you this. In the Bible, does it say the sun is stationary or is the sun moving?
Sun
I've
is
read the
moving.
Bible more times than you.
Okay,
I'm sure.
then
It
answer
doesn't
it.
say
Then
the
answer
Earth
it.
is
Then
flat.
answer it.
Actually,
If you're going to use God as an example, if you're going to use God as an example, if you're going to use God as an
Religion and
example,
God. I'm just saying that has nothing to do with the
sun
sporosity
move?
of the planet.
Does the sun move? Yes or no?
Yep, around.
My holy
and
book,
everything
the
moves.
sun is stationary.
Okay.
Guys,
So the
Yeah.
sun moves, right, fellas? Not Earth,
Okay,
right?
Yes or no
I'm not
questions
sure.
aren't going to change
There
the
you
fact
go.
that it's still a
The
sphere.
sun moves. We
Just
observe the sun moving. God says he made the sun move. So what is it, fellas? We observe the sun moving, and God tells you the sun moves in the
No.
Bible.
God didn't say that. Hold on a second. God didn't say
Yes, he
that.
did.
Man
Yes, he
said
did.
that. Man
No,
wrote the Bible.
God said that.
Yeah,
No,
God said it.
God
Okay,
wrote
wait a
the
second.
Bible.
Wait a second.
God
Man
didn't
tells you
write
that
the
the
Bible.
Earth is
By man,
stationary.
right? Hold on.
Man
you read
tells
the
you the
Bible.
sun is
Was the
stationary,
Bible
but you
written
observe
by
it
God?
moving. Literally
Was the
in your
Bible written by
textbooks.
God, or was the Bible
Literally
written by
in your
man?
textbooks. In your textbooks, it
Was
says
the
that
Bible written by God,
in
or
your
was the Bible
textbooks.
written by man? You can
In
keep
your
doing this,
textbooks.
but I'm going to keep asking the same question.
Yeah. In your
So are you
textbooks,
going to
it
answer it?
says that, hey,
I
the
asked
sun
about the
appears
Bible,
to
but if
move,
you
but
want to
let's
keep going
ignore
on
that.
about a textbook,
Let's ignore the sun moving, and let's make the sun
let's go back to the
stationary
question
and
at
have the
hand.
Earth move. Your
One
text
spaghetti monster told me that the Earth is
About the
shaped like a
Bible,
giant meatball.
because that's what you said, that God
Does
said.
the sun appear to move, or do you see the Earth rotate?
It was man that wrote that, right?
Does the
Are you
sun
gonna
appear to
deny
move,
that
or do you
what
see
I'm
the Earth
asking
rotate?
you?
Okay, guys, one of you has to fall back here and answer the other one's question. You can't just keep asking the same question at each other over and over again. It's going to get you nowhere. So, who is going to be the bigger man here?
So
Oh,
can
go
I get
ahead.
back on track?
Okay,
Can I get
go
back on
ahead,
track to where we
Taylor.
were?
Go ahead, Taylor. Go ahead, dude.
Turnip.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
No, I answered this question. My question was, did God write the Bible or did man write the Bible?
God wrote the Bible through man. Yep.
Through man. So a
Correct.
man
For holy-
has an observer point on the earth, right?
So here's the thing, brother. Do we observe the sun moving, or do we observe the Earth rotating? Which is it?
Both.
So I was asking the other fella, and the next person who wants to speak up, I'll talk to you next. So which is it? What do we observe? The sun moving or Earth rotation?
You can say both.
Keep down, Chaiki. I'm asking the other fella. So do we observe the sun moving or Earth rotating?
A mechanical gyro compass cannot work on a stationary Earth.
So the other
It's
guy is
non-sequitur.
Soroki, but his
Yes, it
microphone
can.
is microphone.
Now
is
you
not-
want it. Now you want to deflect from the conversation, gentlemen. What do you
Data,
observe? The
you're
sun
asking-
moving?
We observe both of those.
Okay. What do you observe right now, you and me? What do we observe? The sun moving?
Why do I care? Why do I care about that?
That's your answer, right? Okay. The
Well-
Bible. The
Well,
Bible.
yes, why am I limiting it to what I can personally see right now? Why would
Because God's
why would I put that limitation on my
God's
model?
word says the
Because it's-
sun moves, not the earth.
Okay, what's that got to do with the price of cheese?
You guys all have a religion. That's it.
You're literally telling us about your God. What are you talking about?
If God stopped the sun for Joshua, there wouldn't be an earth right now if it was a sphere, by the way. Just to let you know.
That's bullshit claim.
Or maybe God didn't stop the sun for Joshua and it is
Yeah.
a sphere. How about that?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's
Except
also
for-
a sphere.
Except for
and
God
he
doesn't
stopped it.
lie.
Blasphemy,
It doesn't-
blasphemy.
It's
God doesn't
complete
lie.
non sequitur.
Didn't write the Bible, so it's irrelevant what God does.
God doesn't lie, and He didn't put forth instructions how to live on this earth and tell you that you live on a spinning base space ball with different planets and exoplanets, and you come from a monkey. He wouldn't want to do that to you. He'd want you to. He'd want you to know that you come from creation. That
I
you
don't
take
think
care of
I don't
creation.
think you know the mind of God. do
Yeah,
you?
I mean, how do you know
Are
what-
are you claiming to know the mind of God?
How do you know what God would
doesn't
want?
lie. God doesn't lie. He doesn't put forth water.
However, you don't know
God doesn't
what he
lie.
wants.
Don't
You
interrupt
don't
me.
know what he
God
wants. do
doesn't
you?
lie. He
However,
doesn't.
okay, God doesn't lie. Do you know what God wants?
God shows you what He wants.
Do
He
you
wants
know what God wants?
He tells you what He wants, you
How
idiot.
does he? What did he tell you that he wants then? And
He
when
wants
did
you
he tell you?
He wants you to love Him with all your heart and treat your neighbor as you want to be treated.
Okay, when did he tell you this?
Through Scripture, through His Son, Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
so how is any of this useful to what he would want the shape of the earth to be?
Because He doesn't lie about the shape of the earth. There's no spinning space monkey water ball in a vacuum.
But the Bible is not
That is
clear
your
on the shape of the
philosophy.
earth. It's
Your
completely
philosophy-
ambiguous. Hang
Your
on.
philosophy is founded in the Kabbalah. Do you know what the Titsama is?
It's irrelevant. We're on to the muting you stage now. So how is this any of this relevant? Because you said that you knew what shape God would want the earth to be. So how have you derived that from the Bible? Not what shape the Bible you've interpreted the shape to be from the Bible, even though you've interpreted it differently to almost every other Christian that's ever lived. But how are you deriving what God wants the shape to be from the Bible? Go ahead.
Would you like me to give you some pointers? So up is up and down is down. There's no
I want you to answer my question, which is, how do you know what shape the earth, what shape God wants the earth to be? How do you know that? That is my question. Please answer it. I don't want pointers. I don't want you to preach. I don't want you to tell me about the Kabbalah. I just want you to answer that question. How have you derived this knowledge from the Bible? The knowledge of God's wish for the shape of the earth. Go ahead.
There's only one up and one down. Water creates an equal elevation, which is horizontal.
Are you
and
just going to
vertical.
preach and ignore me? This is why
I told you.
This is the
you
problem
can look
for you
around
people.
Jim.
Chemo,
You can look around you.
Chemo, you should look. This is the problem for you people. You've got people like this who just incapable of engaging in a conversation. You ask him a question. I've forced someone to answer his question, but when I ask him a question, he just pretends I haven't asked it and starts talking about what up and down is. Doesn't relate to what I've said in any way whatsoever. This is your problem. This is your problem as flat earthers. You aren't capable of taking this idea forward because you aren't even capable of engaging in a conversation about it. Go ahead, preach.
You're
Preach
struggling
your
with
sermon.
the answer,
Go ahead.
aren't you? God will.
You haven't asked me a question. I've asked you a question.
Yeah,
and
and
you
I'm
haven't answered
answering it. I'm answering it, but you
Well,
don't
listen,
like what I'm. You
Well,
don't like what I'm saying.
because you're
and
talking about
cutting
up
me
and
off.
down. How would that be an answer?
Because there's only one up and one down.
Okay, is that in the Bible? Is that in the Bible?
On your ball model, how many ups is there?
Is this any of this in the Bible?
On your ball model, how many ups is there? I just asked you a question. How many?
One up.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
One up.
Okay, so you're totally ignoring. So you don't know what shape what shape God wants the Earth to be. That was just something stupid.
Again, I can go through the list if you like, but you keep interrupting me like a little scared
The
princess.
list of what?
Are you going to let me finish without interrupting me?
Are you going to answer my question? If you're just going to preach some things
God
you think,
shows us the
listen,
sun move.
Listen, if you're going to preach some things you think about the Earth, then no, I'm not interested in that at all, because that won't be an answer to my question.
Yeah, it doesn't say a space ball, but how many times does the Bible mention a pizza?
Job 38:14. Go
It
take a
says
look.
pizza in the Bible.
Yeah, go 38:14, buddy. If you're analogous with your word pizza, meaning circle seal shape, then there you go. At the end of the day,
You
it
are
gives you-
incorrect. I've made a video about that. You are 100% incorrect.
Job
That is
38:14.
not a flat seal. It doesn't mean the shape of
here's
that.
how God, here's how God shows you where you live.
Here's why you're wrong.
Here's how
It's not a
God
flat
shows you
seal
where you
or
live.
peg. It is a
doesn't matter,
cylindrical seal. It's
Here's
in
where
fact
God
talking about
shows
a
you.
cylindrical seal used in
Here's where
Mesopotamia, that
God-
region. You're speaking to the wrong person. I'm an anthropologist, and I've studied this. This is 100% a cylindrical seal,
Yeah,
and
Daniel
it's
4:11 doesn't
referring
work
to
on your ball.
the rotation of
Daniel-
the sun.
Daniel
in fact,
4:11
rotating over the earth and exposing the evil of men.
Yeah, Daniel
Like
4:11. Daniel 4:11.
Whoa, you're going to skip that one. I exposed
No,
it.
let me
It's a
finish. Don't
cylindrical
interrupt.
seal, not a flat
Don't
one.
interrupt.
Let him finish.
Don't
You have
interrupt.
made that point, Adam.
Daniel 4:11 agrees with Job 38:14. Try again. They both are in agreement with each other. Not only that, 40:22 of Isaiah also agrees with all of those three scriptures. I can keep going all day long.
However,
Here's
you
what
could
God
keep going.
shows you.
You could keep going all day long. However, you would be in contravention, if you like, of what almost every other Christian that's ever lived has thought and interpreted the Bible to mean. So you can keep saying the Bible says this and the Bible says that, but that's your interpretation, and your interpretation is different from everyone else's. That should bother you. Different from almost every Christian scholar that's ever existed. Different from billions and billions of Christians that have lived. So don't tell us this like it's fact, because almost every person that believes the same things you do about your magic book interprets it differently. Almost all of them. Bear that in mind.
And they understand that the vast majority is parables anyway.
So
For
you're just going
example,
to keep
Muhammad-
saying things you interpret differently to every other Christian.
No, I can give you back it up. brother.
Are you going to
Keep
address the
interrupting
fact
me.
that you interpret it differently to every other
I
Christian?
can back it up. You can go read it yourself.
You can't. You can't.
I don't
David.
deny.
You're not
I
to back up
don't
the
deny
Bible.
that you can interpret the Bible any way you like.
I'll
We
give
all
you
know that.
scriptures that you can go
But
fact check.
What
No,
I'm asking
data.
you, what I'm asking you is how you account for the fact that your interpretation is different from almost every other Christian that's ever lived.
Ken,
He can
the
do that,
sun
and he's going to do that by
moved.
using his interpretation of the Bible.
The
to go
sun
to another
moves,
portion of his
gentlemen.
interpretation of the Bible.
The
to
sun
give you
moves.
his interpretation of the Bible, interpreting the Bible.
You can raise a Christian up thinking that the earth is a spinning ball with propaganda, television, movies, and media. The reality is we observe the sun moving. The reality is we observe water.
No,
and
we don't. That's not true.
The
That's not the
reality
reality. That's you. That's you ignoring
reality
vast
is-
swathes of reality.
You try to
May I-
ignore
may
your
I ask-
reality.
You have to ignore huge
You're
chunks of reality to
ignoring
get
your
to the
reality.
conclusion that it's the sun that's
Your
moving.
reality is you live over a large
Yeah.
extended plane that does not dip or drop. You see the sun
Yeah.
that moves. And then on top of it, you think you come from a Big Bang evolution, which God is not part of your process of thinking.
Yada, 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 yada.
As far as the
Data.
Christians
I have a
go,
question.
there is such thing as
Wait,
fake
I was
Christians.
Data. Wait. Data. So the sun moves above us. You agree with Jeremy's experiment observation he wants to do?
So Jeremy's
got the
observation is a
whole
supposition on a sphere. He has to have
No,
a
no,
sphere.
no.
You have to have a
based
sphere to have a subsolar point. So it's a supposition.
What are you talking
It's a
about?
presupposition, right?
You definitely
have a
don't need a
sun.
sphere to have a
Why
you
do
have
you
a
need a
sun.
sphere for that?
Oh, I'm
Wait.
sorry. Can you show me a subsolar point without your sphere demographic? Or
What do you mean? You have a sun, and when it's above you, it's a subsolar point.
Okay, wait a second. That's the zenith position. Is it really directly
Yeah,
above
right,
you?
right.
Or does it appear to be above you?
Wait. What do you mean? Yeah, wait. Hold
Is
on.
you absolute mong.
Hold
Zenith
on.
is
what we see. So
the subsolar point is the point on the
I
earth,
have a point
directly
here.
beneath
I
the
have a
sun.
point.
This does
I
not
have a-
need to be an argument. This
Wait,
fucking idiot needs to get this to his head before we move on. There's no argument here.
The
I
sun
have a
moves. not the
point.
earth. The sun moves.
Wait,
Observable.
Yes.
We see the sun rise and
so
set
if
every
it's
day,
above
my
you, it's
friend.
above you, right?
Let him finish his. Go ahead, Data. Derp it out.
So God, if He wants to show you where He lives, He'll show you, and it will be much more simpler than a spinning.
Talking
wave.
about sun, dickhead.
Yeah, God will show you where He lives by
Back
only
to the
having
sun. Data. The sun. Stay on point.
God will show you where we live.
What?
Because there's only
Data?
one up and one down.
I
The
kick him,
sun-
Jim, but that's me. That's
The
me.
sun moves.
This is pointless.
Not the earth.
Data, quick
Water
question. I mean,
takes-
I didn't say the earth moved.
One
I
second.
didn't
Yeah,
say the
everybody
earth moved.
jump in and give him more attention.
Yeah, well, just a really quick
Let
point. I
him,
mean, if
let
you're
him
talking,
fucking shit on everything.
But I have a point here.
Fuck
Go on,
up,
Data, go.
chemo. Fucking pussy.
Data.
Hey, you need a coffee and a cake, brother. Come back when you're done.
Data.
I'll give you what you need.
being what moves when it doesn't matter one way or the other which one is moving for the shape of the earth.
God will tell you where you live. You don't live on
Data.
a spinning ball.
Data.
That's just
You
a
live on a
platitude.
plane where the sun moves overhead, not
So
the
you
earth.
agree with Jeremy's experiment?
I don't agree with the subsolar point because it has the supposition that the Earth's a sphere at a 90-degree.
No, it doesn't have no supposition. It just have the supposition that the sun is above you 90 degrees.
I agree with this. At sunrise, between two locations, 1,000 miles apart, you can calculate the velocity.
When the sun above you is
You
above
don't
it's
need a
above you or
subsolar-
not? When the sun is
don't need
above
a
you.
you don't need
When
a
the
subsolar
sun
point.
is above you, is
You
it
don't need
above
it.
you? Or I don't need anything, but I'm asking you, when the sun is above you, is it above you or not?
No, because it's appearing there. That's it.
Wait. So
we're going off what
first,
we can see, so appearances are all that matter for this.
wait. So
In other
first,
words,
God will not
at my zenith, it's not going to be a zenith for
let me
somebody
finish
else.
my point.
They're going to have different angles to it.
Data,
So are you going to calculate the angle? Are you
Can
going to
you please
calculate
let me
the
finish
angle?
my point?
Nah, you're not, right?
Data. So first you said God will not make you see the sun move, and it will not move. He will not deceive you. And now you say, no, the sun is not there because God is deceiving you.
It's refraction, my friend.
It's refraction. No, it's not. It's above you 90 degrees. What refraction?
It's still refracted there in position, dude. If you think
it's
right
not
above
90
you,
degrees,
right
so tell me
above
where
you,
it is.
you
Where
think it right
does
above you, it's
refraction?
actually right above you. It's
Where
refracted
is it?
in that
Where
position.
is it then?
That's why the angle changes from each observer.
Tell me where it is then.
It will appear. It will appear there, but it's not exactly there, is it?
No, it's not appear there. God put it there. It's their data.
There was one quick question I want to ask Data very quickly. Very quickly, because
hallucinations, it doesn't matter. What's being
Okay.
measured is what it appears to be.
Yeah, it appears to be above you. That's right, but it's moving, is what we see. That's how we know the Earth is not spinning. It's the sun that's moving. You want to infer. You want to infer that it's rotation, but it's not.
No, it's refracting.
God makes it simple for you. You deny it. That's all.
I mean, again, you're talking about the sort of the biblical model. So what I would ask you, can you tell me where?
God
can you tell me
describing
one second, please? Let me get. I haven't finished my point. I haven't even got my question out. Thank you. So, talking about the biblical model. So, obviously, in the biblical model, the sun goes through the portal of heaven, the portal of the dome, to go above the dome, to go back to the rising point. Is that what you believe happens on the earth?
So there's many descriptions of it. Again, you're missing the main point. The sun is moving. You get it? The sun is moving. What it does after that, and what it does after that, what it does after that, or how it does after that, is all an inference or a speculation or a guess. The reality is, every measurement you've ever made from the dawn of time is through the observation of the sun moving and then the inference of the rotation.
Again, the question I'm saying,
You'll never measure rotation. You'll never measure it, ever. You'll never measure rotation, ever.
Yeah. Do you believe that the sun goes through a portal to return back to its rising point in the east?
You're asking me about something I cannot see, or something I can see.
But
I can see the sun moving when it passes.
Your God,
I can see the sun
Bible says
moving.
this.
When the sun moves past my perspective, I don't know where the sun goes at this point.
But I thought we were relying on your Bible to
It's
derive
proof
truth.
that your model cannot predict anything.
God
We don't live on a model, numbnuts.
Yeah, you said that, numbnuts, lots of times. Yet you show models all the time on your channel.
I show you equal elevation, and I show you
You're a
something.
hypocrite.
You
You
can
can't
use something
you can't use
reality.
models anymore.
To represent the whole entire Earth.
I made a video about you like over a year ago.
Can I make a
You're
bridge
one of
model?
these. You're one of
Can I
these
make a bridge?
parroting
Can I make
QEs.
a bridge model?
We don't live on a model. We don't
Can
live on
I
a model.
make a bridge
We don't live on a
model
model.
for
And
engineering
I go
purposes?
to your page,
Yes,
and
I
what is your
can.
highlighted video? The first video I see is a model.
Yeah, it's not of Earth, moron. It's actually over a distance of 6
Models aren't real.
And guess
Except
what it
models
highlights? It
aren't
highlights
about the Earth.
reality.
That's the only
It
model.
highlights reality, which is topography of the land.
Where's the
numbnut.
rule on where we can and can't use a model then? Where's the rule that says you
That's
can't
the
use one?
second
for the whole
Go take your
Earth?
models
Triple
and use
dynamic.
them.
Let him answer.
According to
Let him answer.
quantum.
Except
Let him
for
answer. Where's the rule that says we can't use one for the whole Earth? Where does that rule come from?
so reality you can model, yes?
You can model any aspect of reality.
Can you model reality, yes?
Yes.
Yes, we make
No,
models
no,
that are
modeling
really
reality,
small,
if you're
like
imagine-
atoms
Hang
and
on,
DNA
hang on.
molecules.
Let me finish. Is there a
You
difference
cannot- you
between
can-
modeling reality and an idea or a theoretical idea? Is there a difference between modeling the both? Yeah, there is,
Yes,
right?
completely.
Right on. So I model reality. I model what water would
Right.
do in a real
And
setting.
is the
Take-
Earth-
Hold
is-
on, let me finish.
Yeah,
Let me finish, please.
No need for you to finish. Is the Earth in reality?
The model is not. Earth is, yes.
However, is so. What is the reason? Because you said it was pointed out to you that you use models, even though you were saying we don't down like a retard. So it seems to me that
We don't live on the heliocentric model.
that you're proposing that there is some rule written somewhere that says you can use models for some things, but this other thing, i.e. the shape of the Earth or the whole Earth, I think you said, we can't use it for. So where does that rule come from, is my question.
When you have to suspend disbelief to make it work.
So you just made it up because it was convenient to you, is what you're
No, I actually used real data that shows distance and elevation.
Yeah, I'm not asking you about what you did, am I? Listen to the question, you moron. You said you can't use a model for the whole Earth. Why? What can you use? How much can you use it for? What's the cutoff point, and why is there a cutoff point? That's my question. How is this difficult?
Your model shows physical Earth curve, and that's not reality. My model shows there is no physical Earth curve, and that matches reality. Do you understand the difference?
I understand that's just you saying stupid shit and completely ignoring my question. So, again, why can't we model the Earth? What is the reason we cannot model the Earth?
Okay, so now you're asking me why we can't model the Earth or model the heliocentric.
It's not now I'm asking you that. That is what I have been asking you all along. This is the 4th time I've asked you that.
So why you can't model the heliocentric model is because there's no Earth curve.
So your objection to us using a model is because you just don't agree with us. Basically, that's what it boils down to. You can't use a model because I don't agree that the Earth's spherical.
Again, you can't model something that doesn't exist.
That's true. However, the Earth exists.
The Earth exists, not the heliocentric model. Keep it straight.
Well, you can't. You'd have to establish that to be true, and you haven't established that.
To create a real
you can't
model,
introduce
you
a
have to use
rule
flat
that
surface
we're not allowed to model things that you
contain the
don't
water.
personally agree with. That's absurd.
Oh,
and you
is that
know
how
it.
you feel? That sounds like how you feel about it.
No, that's it. I'm telling you about how you feel, because that's what you've said. You've said you can't use a model for the Earth because it's not a heliocentric model. It's just you disagreeing with what's out there and saying you can't model it because I disagree with it. How is that logical in any way? You just say the most retarded shit. You don't think about any of it, do you? Unbelievable.
You got to do better, bud. Just go back and listen to what you just said. You just sound like a complete mong. You cannot model something if you have no curvature, and you're claiming your model has
we have
curvature.
curvature, fuckwit. That's just you saying you don't agree with it. Why don't you get this? You can't start with the idea that we're wrong, and because we're wrong, various rules apply, like no modeling is allowed. What the fuck are you talking about, you retard?
You can model your fantasy. There's no curve. So when you model your curve, you're modeling your fantasy. It's not reality. What I modeled was reality that matches physics of water and construction and engineering, which is when you make a bridge, you're not calculating for any dip or drop or curvature. Just like my Pontchartrain. Let me finish.
Make an argument. I don't care what you think about the shape of the Earth. Make an argument to support the bullshit that you're saying with something. Who cares about you preaching? We know
So I
that
support my argument.
Who think the Earth's flat. Why are you telling us this?
I support my argument by showing you Pontchartrain proves a flat Earth.
How does it?
Because there's no dip or drop between two
Because
points.
he thinks elevation and curve are two different, or the same thing, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, 2 points of equal
because
elevation.
You think elevation curve are the same thing because you're an idiot. Just admit it. You think
got no
elevation
argument.
curve
It's okay,
are the
bud.
same
You got
thing.
no
They're not
argument.
the
It's all
fucking
good.
same thing. Data.
You got no argument. It's all good.
Elevation
everyone
curve
can
are the same
see
thing.
its
You're
curves.
conflating the two ideas. They are not. You can have. If the Earth was a globe, don't fucking fight me on that. But if the Earth was a globe, a line of equal elevation would be fucking curved, and you know that.
Equal elevation creates a horizontal. Equal
Trust
elevation.
me, curved does not have equal elevation.
Not on a sphere.
They get fat.
Horizontal is equal points of elevation. That's what we see around us, and that's
Only
only
on a
possible
plane.
on a plane. That's correct.
You're dealing with a plane. You're presupposing a plane.
I can fly high above, and it's still a plane.
No, you're just claiming that.
You guys are
This is the
thinking
crux
little
of the
6
matter,
foot
and this will
observers.
not get solved with you.
You little morons think 6 foot observers because you
No.
measure different
No, no,
drop.
no.
You guys
You
are
said you could
mindless.
prove something that you can't prove. You have not proven it. You simply asserted it.
Equal
You're
points of
lying.
elevation.
You're wrong. And
Equal
I
points of
think,
elevation
quite
is
frankly,
horizontal, which
it's
we
wrong
observe
of
in
us to
reality.
deal with retards like you
Take a
in
look
the
in the
way
mirror,
that
bud.
we
You're
are.
Really?
You're
He's
brain
not-
damaged.
He's not presenting anything, is he? He's just
He's
telling
just
you-
talking out his ass. It's stupid.
Just
He's
preaching
asserting
his
religious
sermon
shit.
at us.
He's presupposing shit.
He
and he's
threatened
being a
us with
cunt.
2 citations already, and I haven't seen them.
2 equal points of elevation is horizontal. It's only possible on a plane. Thank you kindly.
Prove it.
Reality proof. Reality. Go take a look outside. Anytime you see equal points of elevation, it's horizontal. Numbnuts.
How did we even get here? How did we get here from? I mean, this guy here, he said one of the stupidest things you could ever hear, and we let him run away from it and chased him subject to subject. You can't have a subsolar point on a flat Earth, he said. Why is that forgiven?
Oh, I missed that.
Your
He
subsolar
needs to be
point.
beaten
your
about the head
subsolar
with
point
that.
is
Shamed, embarrassed to
pertinent
crawl
to
back
a
underneath
sphere.
the rock he came from.
Can you have a sun above you on a flat plane? Yeah, you can. Is it a subsolar point? No, because that subsolar point is
The sun is not the subsolar point.
Why would it
You
not
are
be
such an
subsolar?
idiot. How can
Demonstration
anybody get
of
through to you? You're
subsolar
so
point.
stupid.
Go look at a subsolar
would-
point. You need a sphere for it. You can
No,
have
we
the
don't.
sun
Why would-
above
why
us on
would
a
you
flat
do that?
plane all day long.
Try
brother.
the diplomatic route.
Hang on, why do you need a sphere for there to be a subsolar point? I don't get it.
Because your demonstration only highlight the fact that it's happening at a 90-degree angle to the sphere.
Why couldn't
No,
that
hang
happen
on.
on a flat plane?
Yeah.
I got to
Think
be at
about it.
90-degree
Can
angle.
you, gentlemen, can you have the sun above you on a flat plane? Yes, you
Yes.
can. It's
Then
called a
why is that
subsolar
not a
point.
subsolar point?
Depends
How
on
is
what your
that not a
supposition is
subsolar
now,
point?
isn't it?
How is that not
It's
a
not-
subsolar point?
Yeah,
You're
it's
just
90
making
degrees to
assumption
plane.
that it's not a subsolar point without saying why.
So your subsolar point supposition starts with an orthographic sphere and that 90-degree and angle off
doesn't.
it to your subsolar
No,
point.
it doesn't. It just starts with the premise that the sun can be directly above your head.
That's possible on a flat plane, guys. Thank
Right.
you.
That's
And
the
yes,
same thing
no
as a
shit.
subsolar point.
Therefore,
That's what a
a subsolar
subsolar
point is
point
possible
is.
on a flat plane, right?
Yeah, when you look at the subsolar point, they're using a sphere for the demonstration.
Oh, that's
Because the Earth's a
fucking
That's
sphere,
what
you
you
idiot.
idiot. You can certainly have one on a plane. It just means that the light rays are coming 90 degrees to the plane. Same thing.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
You're such a fucking retard.
You can have them on either one, dude.
He's not serious. He can't be. This is a.
Yeah.
There's got to be a
He
fucking
just
vote.
conceded
just
his
agreed.
point and then declared victory at the end of the concession.
He's just dumb. This is dumb.
Yes.
He either didn't understand the person, now he
dumb.
doesn't, so he's just sort of bailing out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baseball is very dumb. It removes God from you guys.
Listen.
Tells you that God doesn't exist, but yet God shows you the sun moves. He shows you
It
that
doesn't
water
tell us
creates
God
a
doesn't
level.
exist.
That's
He
never shown
shows
This is
you
why
Euclidean
These
geometry. It's
clowns
only
need to be hip
possible on
checked,
a flat Earth.
hip checked and boarded.
Shows you in
It doesn't-
navigation.
Boarded
It
hard.
shows you in everything.
You don't.
How you navigate
A lot
in
of
this
people
world
believe-
is
a lot
all
of people believe in
Euclidean
God and
geometry.
flow.
No
Yeah,
spherical.
loads
power
of people
needed.
in here
I'm
believe
just
in
going to keep saying
God.
retarded things
Plenty of
over and
people
over
on this
again.
side of
That's
the
what.
argument believe in
It's
God.
retarded to somebody who's deaf to it, sure, because you don't
You're a
understand.
retard. No, it's
I mean, God,
retarded
to be
because
fair,
they're
you haven't really
retarded,
said
'cause
anything
you're a
that makes
fucking
any sense,
idiot.
and you know that. We know that.
The only retarded
until
people
you
exist
do.
living in a spinning, orbiting ball is, and that's you guys.
Yeah, yeah. Us and the rest of the smart people. in
The
world.
only idiots in this world looks at a sun moving and thinks it's Earth rotation is you guys.
Yeah, you guys meaning the entire world, as in everyone but you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most people, when I approach them with the simple process of thinking, which is 1 foot off the ground, 1 mile away, they're like, "That's impossible. The Earth is
Okay,
not
if
that
that's
small."
true,
But
that
you
tells
fucks,
us more about who
you
you surround
fucks,
yourself
you
with.
fucks are so
That
disingenuous.
tells us the quality of the person that you're nearby more than anything else.
Engineers, builders, logical,
Clearly not
rational,
the fact that
reasonable.
You're being deliberately deceptive, and you know you are playing
course
some
he is.
word
Of course
game.
Try again, fellas. You're projecting your nonsense.
No, we don't need to try again. What we're telling you is true. Whether you accept it or not is up to you.
So you're divining thoughts, are you? And you're claiming them to be
No, we're
true?
telling you the truth about the
Sounds
world.
like
The nature of the
idiot
world is as we
prophecy
say
over
it is.
here.
We're
Sounds
talking
like
about
idiot
our
prophecy over
experience
here.
of you.
Idiot prophecies. Yeah.
Yeah, we're telling you how it is. That's all.
God tells you how it is every day when he shows you the sun moving above.
Okay.
He shows you that water creates a horizontal level.
Cool.
He shows you that it's stationary. Do you understand?
I think you're
and then
listening
he
to the
gives you the power, and then he gives you the
You're
power to
listening to the
create
wrong
life.
God.
And then he
You're
gives
either
you
listening to
power
the
to
wrong
create
God,
life.
or you're
And then
misinterpreting what
he
you're
gives you
hearing.
the power to see it with your eyes.
Yeah,
This is preaching rather than actual talking. But if that's what you're hearing from God, I swear to you, you're either listening to the wrong God or you're misinterpreting what you hear. God is not telling you any of that kind of stuff.
And funnily enough, God didn't start showing you that stuff until 2015 when Eric Dubay put it on the internet.
Maybe he means Eric Dubay when he says God. That could be.
Maybe.
Eric Dubay worships Nazi fucking Hitler, dude. I don't give two shits about Eric Dubay. He's a fucking
you worship
plant
Eric Dubay.
to mock flat Earth, dude. Show you all the truth and then end up pointing you towards a Jew hater. Fuck that shit.
Anybody I don't like's a Jew, Nazi.
Well, it is true what he said about Dubay. Dubay is a Nazi sympathizer too.
We don't need Eric Dubay to mock the flat Earth. We get gems from you like you can't have 90-degree angles on a flat plane.
You can totally have 90-degree angles on a flat plane, bro. It's all
No shit. That's what
we don't live in a ball, dude.
You can't have subsolar points on a flat
Again,
plane. So
the
you're an idiot. Or you don't understand what you're saying.
The supposition of a subsolar point needs a Earth that's
No,
a
it
shape
doesn't.
of a
It's
ball.
ridiculous. That's just you being
Oh, he
so-
did it again. He's
Can you have
back
an
on
angle
it.
to the sun? Can you have an angle to the sun?
He
90
hasn't
degrees?
been punished
Yeah, you
enough.
can. Doesn't mean it's a ball, right?
Pummel him. Pummel him.
You guys have been destroyed. You guys have been destroyed and embarrassed here today.
Oh, Dada.
All
If only you
documented.
knew. If only you knew.
You've
I know
all
it's being
no
recorded.
mercy
It's being
for this
recorded.
fuckwit.
If you knew how many times people come in and say it's being recorded, only to never come back and never bring it up again.
Right.
But you're so delusional, people. It's unbelievable. You
Record
guys
it.
all think that this is going to support you in some way. And we go back and listen.
I got you down.
You
I
said
got
let
you
him
down
record it.
saying, hey, this is how delusional you are, bud. Scott, I got you written down
Record
saying
it.
that. I got you down
You
written
have
saying.
written down saying anything you want to write down, don't you, Dada? I
This
think I
is what
remember
you
telling
say.
you. Write down whatever you
This is
want.
what
You
you
said I
say.
will.
This is what you
I said,
say.
write down what you want.
The
You write down
ground,
anything you want.
the
You
ground
said, I will
doesn't
write down what I want.
rise. The ground doesn't
Have at
rise.
it. Right away.
The ground
Whether
doesn't
it's true what I
rise.
said or not, who knows? Whether you're being fair
Yeah.
about what I said or not, who knows?
I documented, buddy, and everybody heard it.
No, I told you at the time. I remember very clearly saying, write whatever you want, Dada. And you said, okay, I will. There we
I
go.
read it back, and you know what I'll do?
You wrote
is
whatever you
before-
wanted. We talked
Listen,
about this.
bud.
I said, you have my
Listen,
permission.
bud.
So you have my permission.
Before it's published,
You can write whatever you
before
want,
it's
Dada.
published-
Just don't ever pretend. Don't ever pretend
Before
that I
it's
confirmed or
published-
co-signed anything that you wrote down. Because I didn't.
Before it's
You can write whatever you
published-
want.
Before it's
Write
published,
what you want.
buddy,
Publish what you want. I don't care, but I didn't confirm
You'll
it.
be asked-
I didn't.
you'll
I
be
didn't
asked-
verify it. You did not.
you'll be
You did not
asked-
check with me, and you did not get approval. That's all you need to know.
You'll be asked several
Publish away.
times later in the future, not just
Publish
by me,
away.
by other people.
Publish
And
away.
that's how
I
I
promise
get,
you.
that's
I'll
how I
just-
get the verification. It's not just me going to
I'll tell
ask
them what
you,
I'm
bud.
telling you now, that I gave you permission to say whatever you wanted. You can write whatever you want. Feel free. Out of context, in context, make it
I
up, do
don't
whatever you
need
want.
to write whatever I want.
You
I'm
do.
here to
You need to write whatever you
document
want.
it.
Otherwise, you would have nothing to say.
Struggle, boy. Struggle.
I'm not struggling. I'm just telling you clearly that you can write whatever you want. You have my
You
permission.
can struggle all you want, and I love it.
How is that? How is it
Evidence.
struggling for me to give you free reign? You have
You
free
can
reign to
write
write whatever
whatever I,
fantasy you like.
you can write whatever I want because I didn't give you permission.
Whatever you
He's
want.
an SE puppet.
Struggle,
He's an
buddy.
SE puppet. He's
I really-
resorting to SE line tactics now.
The thing is, I think what you do is fiction, and so you have my permission to write whatever fiction you like.
Awesome, buddy. I don't need your permission to at all to write about you. Not one
Of
bit.
course, I was just being kind. I'm just being polite.
I don't need your permission to write about your fucking
I didn't say
ass
you
and
did.
I
I'm just
believe,
being
dude.
polite. Relax. Why are you so freaked out, man? I'm just saying you can't.
Struggle.
It doesn't seem like I'm struggling when I'm being polite and you're saying I don't need your permission.
You're struggling, dude. You're struggling to come up with an answer or a reason to discredit your own.
What
fucking
answer?
words.
I'm just saying you can do what you want. I'm being
You want me
polite.
to
and
read
you're
what
being
you
mad
wrote?
about that.
Here, I'll read what I wrote
You
down.
want to read what I
word
wrote?
for
I didn't
word.
write anything. You're
I'm
the one
not-
that's writing things.
I'm not paraphrasing.
And you say I'm the one struggling.
I'll
You
read
can't
it.
even get your sentences out correctly.
I'll read
Listen
it
to
for
yourself.
you.
You're
okay?
literally tripping over yourself, and you're
Struggling.
in a rush to be rude, and you're rushing to get
Struggling.
an insult in. You're tripping over your words and not
Struggling.
making any sense. And you say that other people are struggling. You
I
have
can't
not
wait
once
to-
let me
here,
say anything
I'm gonna
without
read
you
it back
overtalking
for you,
me.
right?
I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but I haven't ever once gotten to say a sentence without you being in the background saying random shit. And I'm the one struggling.
Struggling. Look at you. Yep. You're fucking struggling, dude. So you want here? I'm going to read it for you. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll read
Hey,
exactly.
you don't need to read anything.
This is
You can
word
read-
for
you know
word.
what? I'll read it in the book when you send it to me. I promise. I'll read it all. But I don't need you to read alout the things.
Better that I
things
read
you've
it out
written.
now. It's better that I read it out now.
I'll tell you what, Dad. I'll tell you what,
can
Dad.
either
Only
refute it or
only
deny
if you
it.
let me read out what I wrote about you, okay? We'll do it. We both are going to listen, then we can both do it. But if you're not going to listen to what I wrote about you, then you don't get to read what you wrote about me. How about that?
I'll go ahead, brother. Please do. I can't wait.
Okay, well, I have to go get it. So when I get it, we can do it.
Well, I have mine right now. I'll give you a minute if you need.
I'll take a minute. Yeah, I'll take that minute. In the meantime, you can entertain yourself. I don't know, telling more stories. So did he ever say why the subsolar point couldn't exist on a plane?
Because he's a retard. I think Jem established that.
It is a weird thing to say.
The subsolar point is not necessarily. You can say zenith.
Stand
You can
on
say
a
zenith,
surface,
fellas.
look straight up.
Your subsolar point and zenith are two different descriptions, even though they're inferring the same concept. You can say zenith above the observer. Subsolar point in any of your drawings show a
Call
sphere.
it however you want.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to assume what you're standing on to have a 90-degree angle.
So call it your zenith, not your subsolar point.
Okay,
They're two different things. You idiot. The sun is at zenith from the subsolar point. You get that through your head.
You got it.
Do you have to talk through it? Do you have to? Hey, dickhead, you retard! Shut up and listen for a second. Listen, the sun is at zenith from the subsolar point. The subsolar point is on the ground, you moron. You insufferable fucking mong.
Hey, everybody, check your Facebook. I think something's wrong.
You need a sphere for it.
No,
You're
you don't need to know what you're standing
retarded.
on in the subsolar point. That's our point that you seem to not understand.
Do you have a flat cable handy at any point in time, Data? Can you hold
So is it
something
your
above
zenith?
that table?
Your
Is
zenith
there a
then?
point directly beneath that
that your
object
zenith then?
on the table?
Is that your
On the
zenith?
flat table? Is
that
there
your
ever?
zenith then? Is that your zenith then?
The object is at zenith from the point on the table. You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot.
Thanks for the entertainment, morons.
You don't know what zenith is, do you?
It's not your subsolar point.
How can you be so arrogant and so stupid? It's plain.
This will clear.
Got no
this will
argument.
clear it up, I think. Hey, Flat Earth Data, if you want to know, if you have to look up or down to have a subsolar point.
If you're looking up above your zenith, the sun above you, that would be your zenith of the sun, right?
Above your zenith.
Subsolar point.
Look above your zenith, everyone.
We have to look up or down.
Just call it
Subsolar
sun
point.
at zenith point. Okay.
I've written that down to put in my book, to quote in my book. I've got that down, Curve.
Did I get that
This is
right,
gonna be a
Dad?
great
Did you look
book.
up to see
Look
the
it up at the zenith.
subsolar point?
I didn't hear the question. What?
Do you have to look up or down to find a subsolar point? It's very simple.
Well, if you're looking at your no shadow, you'd have to look down, right?
Ah, very good. That's the subsolar point. The looking down part. So it's not your fucking zenith now, is it?
So you're measuring a shadow then? You fucking morons.
That's not a win for you.
It's not a shadow. You're not measuring a shadow. You're waiting till there is no shadow.
You're
and then-
measuring the
Listen,
subsolar point,
listen,
right? You fucking
listen,
numbnut.
Listen. You are waiting until there is no shadow. At that point, listen.
So you're
listen.
measuring a shadow, right? Or their lack of.
Yes, you're measuring something that isn't there with a clock. Because what you're doing is waiting until there is no shadow, and then you're taking note of the time. You aren't measuring the speed of an angle, as Bev said, and you sat there agreeing with. The speed of an angle, Bev thinks we're measuring. So what are you talking about? There's no shadow involved.
And conflating it with the zenith is wrong because you're looking down, not up.
Yeah, but you're measuring a shadow at that point, right?
No.
Or their lack of.
How can you measure the lack of something? How are we going to do that?
You wait for it to disappear, and then you go, oh, the shadow's gone.
Right, so you aren't measuring the shadow, are you? You're taking the time when the sun is directly overhead. Evidenced by the lack of shadow.
Yep.
Right, so are you going to now deny that we cannot determine when the sun is directly overhead?
I never said that.
Right, so you haven't got a problem, then, have you?
Every description of subsolar point shows a sphere.
All right, but we just sat here and described it for you without mentioning a sphere, now didn't we?
Every description of the Earth shows a sphere.
We already know you don't
We
need
live
it.
on a sphere. Everybody
No, we don't.
believes we
Not
live
at
on a
all.
sphere. So
Doesn't
every
mean it's true.
description of it will be of a sphere, you moron. How you can't possibly I mean, Jeremy should understand from this. I was going to point this out to him. He doesn't even need to do this experiment because of the idiotic dishonesty that he's witnessed from his people on his own side, just trying to avoid the obvious. Just any old shit you can come up with.
No, it's about showing your supposition before you measure anything. It's like reification times 10 for you morons.
But as you know, the subsolar point describes the sun being directly overhead. Of course, if you look for diagrams of it or whatever, they're going to depict a sphere.
That's my argument.
But all they demand is that the sun is directly overhead. They don't demand a sphere.
It demands that you equate that the sun is directly overhead of a sphere.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. No, it does not demand that. You're lying and making shit up.
That's what all your models.
But of course, all of them will show that. Nobody thinks we live on a flat Earth.
That's
You
not
moron.
I just posted a definition. I just posted a definition, and it doesn't say anything about sphere. It just says the subsolar point is the point at which the sun is perceived to be directly overhead. The sun's rays strike the planet's surface in a particular fashion.
Planet. There you go. Supposition.
Oh, I
It's
thought
what we're dealing
Right,
with.
planet.
Since the Earth is a planet now?
It could be a flat planet.
We don't live on a planet.
Who says?
Can't be this.
How have you determined
No,
that?
I mean, look, this is the level at which he's
There
going
is
to.
no curvature, numbnuts.
Okay,
So
Dada, you got it. If that's what you have to go to, it's okay.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Uh,
And like I
planet is
say,
a supposition,
Jeremy,
like I said.
Jeremy doesn't even need to do this experiment because he can just see from the ridiculous things that you guys are coming up with to brush it away before it's even happened. Just insisting that it demands a model when it clearly doesn't. Rakir came up with an absolute classic. Rakir said that what Jeremy is doing is opposite to everything that they've been fighting for all these years. He literally said that.
It still floors me how you somehow think that the entirety of the